And we're live.
What up? I said what up? We got your boy Wings of Redemption, White Boy 7th Street, Eddie the Chump, and I'm your boy Jive Turkey 600. And this is the podcast show, episode 4. What's going on, y'all?
Oh man, dude. We were sitting there having a lively discussion just a while ago before we started to bring you guys in on it about peeing in wetsuits and
Being
out-
lazy, basically.
basically being lazy altogether. And like I related to peeing in a wetsuit like pissing in the tub, like when you're in the tub.
Definitely.
It's completely different, right? First of all, audience, you need to know that that was me pissing in the wetsuit. And that was my admission as to the laziest thing that I'd ever done. And the reason why is like, if you're in a wetsuit, it's made of neoprene, right? And water can come in and out. And it's supposed to warm you up. And I'll just say, aside from it might be disgusting, it was very warm. So there was an added benefit to this. I was in a very cold ocean surfing, and it was a little boost of warmth. I don't see
Is it
anything wrong
like-
with that.
Is it like a back zip up or like how do
Yeah,
you?
back zip up.
Yeah, I figured
Okay.
the wetsuit had to be hard to take off.
Yeah. So we understand.
Yeah.
Does it feel weird on your skin at all, or is it
Um,
comfortable?
No, if you haven't worn them before, you can get like wetsuit rash and stuff like that. But there's like salves you can do that are basically petroleum based, basically like KY, basically pretty much, to stop
KY
it
gel.
chafing in sensitive areas.
Eddie, let me destroy your dreams. I'm a 400-pound man. They don't make wetsuits my size.
No,
I promise they do.
I promise they do too.
I
but
want to
promise
see
they,
it.
I want to see that wetsuit.
They make wetsuits. They gonna charge your ass up, but I'm sure they make all sizes. But we were talking about pissing in the tub, and recently, I'm one of the guys that does do it. Like if you sit down and you're taking a shit, do you piss while you're sitting down?
Hell
And we
yeah.
were having, but who the fuck? Why wouldn't you?
Who doesn't do that? Like
Why would
I
we
do
were having
that so often. I'm like, is this not the norm?
like we were having this discussion at work. Like, all right, if I'm going in the bathroom and I don't have to take a shit, I'll stand up and piss. But if I'm taking a shit, I'll sit down and piss. What
Some
the
some
fuck?
of your boys up at the airport, do they literally in
Yeah.
the middle of their shit stand up and take a piss?
They're literally crazy. They're literally crazy. Then they said they don't piss in the tub, and I'm like, who are you lying to?
Wait, in the tub as you bathe?
Yeah, you take a no, a shower.
And you shower like you shower.
Oh.
in the piss.
Not a
right.
sit-down bath.
Oh,
a
okay.
shower.
yeah, because you had me worried for a moment there. Like you were just in the bath, and it just got yellow out of nowhere.
Yeah, now that's nasty. That I can't do
It-
that because it's in there with you. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
Even if you did it that way, it's going to dilute with all the water because there's like 60 or 70 gallons in that damn thing. And second off, you're already sitting in a stew pot of all your dead skin cells that are just floating around on top of the water.
True. But technically, after you take a bath, you're sitting down, you're supposed to shower the water and the grime and the dookie off.
Yeah.
Not dookie, but you know what I mean. Technically, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But these people at my job, come on. Who are you lying to? You're not, you don't take a shower and say, "Oh, I got to pee. I'm going to hold it.
What's the problem?
I'm going to hold." They said they don't
you-
pee in the fucking tub.
I did it today.
I do it every time I take a shower.
Also-
Every time.
Also, aside from that, the sound of running water is proven
Makes-
to make you. Yeah, it makes you want to piss.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Did,
I,
did they,
I, I think
did
I
they
think-
think that the drain that the shower's hooked up to is different than the one that the toilet's hooked up to? Is that
Exactly.
where they're coming?
I don't know what's wrong with these.
It all goes to the same motherfucking place.
I just think they're lying. I think they're lying
It's
because
a mental thing because when you're rushing, say you got to piss moderately, like just a little bit, like you got to piss a little bit. When you walk in the house and you're near the bathroom, that shit just be like coming out. Like I don't know why it's.
I had that problem with shits now. That shits is the worst ones. I hate when you driving and you're like, all right, dog, I could get home.
Try to put your seatbelt on tighter to hold
Oh, you got to
down.
fucking you're rolling the window down, trying to breathe, like you have contractions. You're like,
Yeah. One time one time I second guessed myself. I was like, damn, because I had a big jar of like junk food. It basically was like party mix. You know what a party mix is, right?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
The chips like pretzels, and it was a big jar of that, and the jar was wide enough to take a shit in. And I'm driving. I gotta take a shit. Like I'm driving and shit. I'm like, boy, you about to get dookie then, motherfucker. But it was daytime. It was daytime, so I couldn't do it. I just had to fucking make it home, man. And it was like, I live in Philly. It's real busy.
I believe
that
what
one of
Wings
the
is. Sorry, Alex, go ahead.
That's like one of the best feelings in the world. Like you're holding on to a piss in the movie theater, and you wait till the ending. Your legs shaking a little bit, and then you just let a nice piss out. I love that feeling. It's one of the
It's the best. It's
up there.
It's like second. Come and feel the best. Busting a nut. That's probably second.
I don't know. A really good, powerful sneeze is up there.
A sneeze feels great too.
Like one that
Wow.
I don't know about you.
Like, because obviously I'm sick at the moment, but like one that just tickles you like right here for a good 5 minutes, and then you just like bang. That
Sneeze. Wow, I never really thought of sneezes, but those do feel good.
Man, I can't do sneezing because when I sneeze, it like tickles the hairs in my nose,
Yeah, you
and it
gotta
makes
go
me
like this.
sneeze again.
You gotta go
Like,
like this, man.
I just constantly sneeze.
You ever sneeze and like hold your nose shut? Like you like
No.
block.
Wouldn't your ears like?
I used to do that. I thought as a kid, I think
On
I lost
purpose?
I thought I lost a lot of brain cells during
You
that.
probably did because we watched
It was
your
bad.
videos and
I
we
I
watched
do
your
what white
videos,
boy
you
said
crazy.
because I got really bad sinuses, and sometimes when I sneeze, all the snot comes out.
Without holding
You never-
it, just
Yeah,
spam.
without holding it. So you never done that, but it's like boom, and like a big wad of snot comes out.
See for
I
me,
see
see
kids
for
do
me,
that.
like when if fluids are expelled during the sneezing process, it's not out of my nose, it's out of my throat, and I don't know why. Like if I sneeze and I cough, then it's like splat, and that's disgusting.
How many times do you swallow that, Eddie?
Never. It's halfway across the room. I'm not going to go and collect it. Like it's some
Oh,
sort
you
of
never
specimen.
sneezed and had it come up into your throat, and then you're like, oh well.
Yep.
I think everyone's
got
done that.
shot.
Everybody does that. My dad.
You think
my
about how
dad-
disgusting that is, and
Oh.
you know,
Yo, my dad used to get pissed off like when I was a kid, and then your parents already know when you got a cold or something, and then you be like, and then they hear you swallow it or something. He'd be like, "Go spit that shit out." I'd be all scared.
you ready to get the belt, huh?
Definitely, my dad used to.
They used
Yeah,
to be-
let's talk about that.
Yeah, that used to be capital
Let's
punishment. Everything was the
talk
belt. I think
About
Bible
that.
restrictions.
Because these days, you can't even get an ass whipping without getting arrested. Like what happened, Adrian Peterson's situation. Y'all know his
Yeah,
situation.
the guy
right?
knocked his wife out in the elevator, right?
No,
that's
that's
Ray
Ray
Rice.
Yeah.
Oh, Ray Rice.
Adrian
He
Peterson,
didn't beat the kid at the barbecue.
he beat his son ass. I don't know where it was, but he beat his son ass with a switch, and he had a lot of bruises and shit. I thought that was a little overboard, not borderline. I thought that definitely was overboard.
Little kids bruise easier too. You gotta take that into account.
That's true.
There's research done into
That-
this.
That's
Little
That's what I'm
kids
saying.
bruise easy.
I had a girlfriend who had like a 5 and a 6-year-old. They would bruise at the slightest thing, and different
Yeah.
people bruise at different things. I had a girlfriend that if you grabbed her too hard, it would like leave your handprint on her.
Yeah, yup.
Yeah, it's like different people bruise at different rates, and like little kids, they seem to bruise easier
Yeah,
as
definitely.
when they grow up. And I mean, like you could like smack a kid with your hand like this, and it would probably leave a hand mark.
What's the worst thing you got your ass beat with when you was a kid?
Metal arrow, either a metal arrow or a phone cord.
I got
Metal arrow.
my dad never hit me. My dad never ever hit me. It was my mum who actually like would occasionally like smack me like, but they never hit me in the face. They never they just like hit me around the back of the head. Or one time, my mum hit me with my karate belt from my karate practice when I was like a little kid, and I
A karate belt, like
Aren't they like
I mean,
cloth?
yeah, they're like
yeah, but
cloth.
they're like
wait,
they're like really thick, and you can double them
Thick,
up. They'd
yeah.
hurt if you get. Trust me, it hurt.
shit.
White boy.
My
My grandpa
friend.
used to come at me with shit like this.
Oof.
Oh, my friend Buddy drafted Adrian Peterson and Ray Rice in fantasy football
Wow.
last year, so that was good for him. My mom threw it was like a little wooden. I don't know. We put like little books in there and like phone books. She threw that at me once, and then just her hand most of the time. I didn't get hit
Yeah.
too much.
You know, motherfuckers didn't grow up in the South. In the South, you
Wow.
got your ass whooped.
My mom.
Does nothing for me, by the way. I want to talk about that too. Hitting your kid does nothing for them.
Say that again.
Hitting your child does nothing for them.
I think different.
Well, let me well, please let me try to
We've got a
change your
debate
mind.
here. Let's go.
Please.
I think hitting when they do something wrong would make them not do it again. It definitely works.
You're correct about that, but let me counter your point real quick.
Okay.
When you're training a dog or any type of dog, let's say you're housebreaking a dog, and the dog shits on the floor, your first instinct is to hit the dog like you did a bad thing. I'm gonna spank you on your ass. That's the first thing. You spank the dog in his ass, rub his nose in the poop. That does not make that dog understand that shitting on the floor is wrong. What that makes that dog understand is if he shits on the floor, there's a negative consequence to it. So what will that dog do? Instead of shitting on the floor, he'll shit behind the sofa where you can't see it. All it does is create fear. It doesn't change what it doesn't create the solution that you want. You want the dog to do what he wants to do because it's enjoyable, and that will right there create an environment where he constantly does that because he associates it with reward versus consequence. Negative reinforcement does nothing but create serial killers, and it's almost scientifically proven.
Yeah, that's a dog though. Like a human.
Dogs and humans are the same thing. Dogs are just a more
No, they're
simple.
not.
It's not the same thing, but dogs are more simple. Whereas humans,
Humans are smarter than dogs.
right, they are smarter than dogs, but the same concept applies. When you hit a child, he's not going to cuss around you. He's going to cuss to his friends. When you hit a child, he's not going to, play the video games when you're home. He's going to play them when you're not home. It's the same concept. Whatever he done wrong, he's just not going to do it around you because he gets hit.
But if you hit a child and he shit on the floor when you're not home, you're still gonna know he shit on the floor.
If he doesn't clean it up. But the idea is the same. Like what you're doing is creating a person later on in life that's going to push away from you first off because he looks at you as negative reinforcement, and then later on in life he's just going to do shit behind your back. You want to put him in the right narrow. Instead of doing stuff behind your back, you don't want him to do it at all. And to do that, you need to show him the fruits and rewards of a situation opposed to negative reinforcement. Hitting doesn't do anything. It doesn't teach anybody anything. That's why they got rid of it.
I disagree.
I think there are what Geordie's saying definitely has some weight to it, but I think that like any sort of physical discipline also has its merits. Like I don't think you can completely remove its ability to teach. I think that like abuse, what you're talking about when you say it doesn't do anything, like abusive behavior is obviously bad and we don't want that, right? That creates the scenario that you're talking about. But physical discipline isn't abuse, right? And I think that that's a grey area where that exists. I think most people's experience of growing up, most people who aren't complete fuck-ups have a moment where their parents were just like, no, you don't do that, and used some measure of physical discipline. I don't mean like punching in the face or whipping necessarily, like none of that shit. But like physical discipline definitely does have its place.
Well, I look at physical discipline differently. Like you're looking at it as like hitting somebody. I don't think it ever works. Like you can use physical discipline like this, for example. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't touch that area right there. And you keep telling them not to do it, and they eventually do it, and they burn themselves. That right there is physical discipline. That's where they learned on their own. And they're like, oh man, that sucks. I don't want to do that again, because all that is negative.
White boy, what do you think?
How do you keep them in line? How do you make sure kids know that you're the boss then?
Just
Well, it's going to sound. It's going to.
rewards.
I'm not a parent, but first off, I'm not a parent. And I know a lot of people that are parents will not take any kind of credence of my advice. But I have been in a situation where I had to raise kids for a couple of years, and the way I would do it is the same way. The way I would do it was the same way pretty much all the other like nannies and professional moms do it. Is you set up guidelines. Like for example, if I had a child named Gabriel, and he had a problem pooping his pants. Like he should have been potty trained at the age of 5, but he had a complication, and it was something mental where he would always poop his pants. He would go to the bathroom good, but he'd always do number 2 in his pants. So the way we fixed that was I tried to make going to the bathroom more rewarding. Like I would read a book to him while he was taking a poop, or I would, if he stayed clean for like 2 or 3 days, I would go out with just me and him, and we'd go like to the dollar store or something and buy something. I would try to make going to the toilet as pleasurable as possible to get the means to the end that I wanted, where I didn't have to go out and buy fucking pull-ups.
That's different. See, that's a different like situation that
That's
I'm
still a
talking
situation
about.
that somebody would beat their kid for.
What if he stole from a store? See, that's just
Well, stealing from
something that
this.
happens when you were a kid. You pissed the bed. You
Yeah,
don't
but
get
see,
I never got a whipping for that.
Shit, they whoop my ass for that kind of shit.
That's
That's what a lot of
different.
people
All
whip
right.
ass for. That's what a lot of people whip ass for, though, Jive.
That's different. If
You
you
took a
sleep-
cookie out the jar, smack your ass.
Oh yeah, that's different. See, pissing in the bed while you sleep, not knowing you're doing it, you don't supposed to get a beating for that. But if you know you're doing something wrong, you came in here, fucking stole the peanuts. Oh, where the fuck are my peanuts? I didn't do it, and I know you did it. You get a fucking ass whipping, and then you know not to do it again.
I think from what I can tell, it's like a cultural thing as well. Like, I should. It's going to sound like really.
I think so too.
But I think that a lot of people who, like, if we're talking about abuse, so I'm not talking about physical discipline, but like abusive parents, generally it's quite accepted that they're abusive because they're not necessarily prepared for like parenthood, right?
Oh.
So they're fairly emotionally immature themselves, and to deal with that like high stress situation is very difficult for them. So they lash out, and I think that's probably true. If you're like intelligent and you're a thinking parent and you're prepared for doing the job correctly, then you're going to think of other strategies. But like abuse is obviously not what people.
Well,
It's
yeah,
not
and, like,
desirable in any situation.
What Eddie's saying is what I usually see. When I see like other people beat their kids, it's usually because they're frustrated with them.
Yeah.
And they just want to use beating their kids as an outlet to fuel their frustration. It doesn't even matter. They could have a shitty day and the kid come by and do something light, like
Yeah.
knock a glass over or something like that. Everybody knocks a fucking glass over from time to time. Kids do it more often because they got less motor skills. And I've seen a kid catch a fucking ass whooping because he knocked a fucking glass of milk over. Just like
And
holy
that's
shit,
what- that's
that
what-
scary kind of shit. It's like, oh shit, do I need to be here?
What we're talking about right now, that's what makes it seem, the people who whip their kids' ass. My parents didn't whip our ass because they had a bad day or something. We did something wrong. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't because we asked them a question. Some people would just be frustrated at their kid. They'd be like, Mom, what's that? Shut up. And then, that's wrong.
Shut up! I don't got the rent.
I'm talking about an ass whipping if I hookied school 3 times in a row and just didn't tell my parents. That's what I'm talking about. I just did something wrong.
Here's the reason why
knowing I did something
because
wrong.
people act like they outlawed it, like they've outlawed this wonderful thing that everybody should be able to do. It has its merits and it has its demerits, but a lot of people can't utilize it well enough
True.
to make it legal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the
True.
line of what's acceptable is too grey for most.
Like
Yeah.
most of the ass whippings that, especially like in public. I don't think I ever got an
And then you got to go into child worship. I don't know if you guys have ever like looked or realized nowadays. When I was in school, beating was still around. When I was from like kindergarten to second grade, they were still allowed to whoop you in school. I remember my kindergarten teacher, Miss Squires, beat Matthew Brown because he cut in line. I remember this kind of stuff. But then nowadays, as we grew up, there's a thing called like child worship. Like you're not allowed to do anything to fucking children anymore.
I never heard of that.
You never heard of this shit?
Child worship. No.
Child worship. You know, everybody wants to put their kid ahead of themselves. Like this is the bullshit I heard. Like I gotta do this for my kid. I gotta do this for my kid. My kid. I gotta work the second job for the kid. I gotta make his life better. That isn't how life works, dude. You don't sacrifice yourself for your child. You build yourself up to give your child a lead to an example.
Well, I think
exactly.
I think I know a lot of parents, and I think that I'm at the age, like I'm 31, where a lot of my friends have had kids, and the one thing I can definitely notice is that they all adopt that. I've got, they sacrifice their joys for, potential joys for their children.
You sacrifice some stuff.
Yeah, and I understand why they do it. I'm not a parent myself that I know of, but I think that that would happen to you. You'd have to be particularly mentally strong to keep that precedent out of your head. Like if you had a kid, Geordie, and you were like, I'm not going to,
outside medium here. I look at this and like, what happens if your child's Timothy McVeigh or something like that?
He's
like,
the building.
What happens
guy, right?
if that's the child that you're sacrificing your life for?
But I think that a child like Timothy McVeigh, someone who grows into Timothy McVeigh, probably had a pretty terrible childhood. Like,
if you invest so much, like your whole life to a kid, you got to give him the best possible, start in life, and that he's got to be a good person. If you show him love,
that doesn't work that way.
Sometimes you show him too much love.
It doesn't work that way. I know. Like for example, David, the guy who lives in my house. He has a son that's like 16, and like he does everything he can do for this kid, but this kid won't go to school. He won't pay attention in school. He'll take him out. He'll buy him new Jordans. He'll get him a new hat. He'll do everything he can do to possibly try to make this kid do the straight and narrow. He even took the man to work. He took him to work and showed him what a hard day's work looks like. This is the reason you stay in school. Nothing works on the guy.
Maybe what I mean is a different kind of love, like showing him those things, like not giving him everything, but being able to teach him the hard lessons that, hard work is something that gets rewarded. Like you said, he just showed him like one day, like that's a lifetime lesson, or that's like an upraising lesson, I think.
Let's be honest. Like a lot of kids that get everything that they want turn into assholes, right? I've made a commentary about this. Like I think you can use examples like Paris Hilton and people like that as fairly good real world examples of this is what happens if you spoil your kids, because
entitlement.
You engender a sense of entitlement, the fact that they believe that the world will deliver them without effort, riches, fame, wealth, all that kind of stuff.
Have you ever caught yourself with entitlement?
Oh yeah, all the time. I'm very especially as because I'm white and I'm English and I'm well educated. Like I notice bourgeois entitlement. It's not so bad anymore, but definitely when I was growing up, I would catch myself with not everybody has this, and I take painstaking steps to avoid it now. But yeah,
oh man, I used to catch myself in entitlement all the time. I remember one time I complained to somebody for making $4,000. I was like, Jordy, you're complaining about making $4,000. Like, why are you doing this? This is not something you complain about. You used to live in a life where you made $400.
Yeah.
Well, perspective shifts, don't they? So,
but still, like at the end of the day, you're the same person.
I don't know about that. I think you are, but I think that your environment shapes you. And I think if you are in an environment where you're like a high earner all the time, when you earn something,
you're used to it.
Yeah, you get used to it, and because that's your...
Yeah, but that's entitlement itself.
Like, what were you complaining
because you get used to making a lot of money doesn't entitle you to make a lot of money. What entitles you to money is hard work and actually putting the effort in to make that money. If you didn't do it, you don't deserve more because you didn't do it.
Yeah,
There was
no, I
about
agree
a
with you.
2-year period where I was a complete asshole.
I'm not.
What were you actually complaining about though? When you got the 4,000, what did you what
The
was
reason
your
I was actually
complaint?
complaining about that was this was a machinima conversation, and I was talking to them about like, dude, I made like $4,000 last month, and it's like I should have made more because you guys are not paying me for mobile ads.
See? You're
But
used
but
to
that's still but still I'm
but
thinking in my head, I'm like I made $4,000. Why the fuck am I bitching?
because
Well,
if you
There's a
made
lot of
because if
people
you
that
made
wish they made
2,000
4,000.
because if you made 2,000 last month, you wouldn't have bitched about making 4,000 the next month. You'd have been like, "Oh yeah,
You always want more. I think that's the
yeah."
name of the
You
game.
always want more because we bitch at my job. We bitch. We are pussies. Like we be bitching, and then we get like $23 an hour, and we chill. Like we literally have 3-hour downtimes, like shit like that. Like, how do you complain having 3-hour downtime? You know, and we work
Oh,
like,
are those 8-hour days?
yeah.
Damn,
Eight-
son, I need a job. Sign me
That's
up.
No,
amazing.
I'm saying, I'm saying 3-hour downtime. Then we do some work. Then we get like another hour. Then we do some work, and then our day is over. Like
Yeah,
that's
but
how
that's
our
nice.
days
That's
are.
like having 3 lunches.
Yeah, that's like sweet. But we act like pussies though. Like
Chill out
we're
watching daytime TV in the break room.
It's because
we
you're
be
used to it.
chilling, playing a game. One time I was actually not live streaming, but I was playing multiplayer when Modern Warfare. It was Black Ops. Black Ops was out, and I was playing multiplayer, Black Ops 2, and I was wrecking, and people didn't believe me. I was like, yo, our internet connection is so bad, the lag comp helps me at work. They was like, you're at work playing a game? I was like, yeah, I'm at work on the Wi-Fi going
What'd you do?
fucking
What'd you
40.
do? Like going to work with your system under your arm?
Yeah, I took the I had my book bag. We don't do shit, man. We just be
That's
chilling.
amazing. You can, I mean, funny spin on it. You can definitely tell we've all suffered from this, and that's connection entitlement in Call of Duty. You have one new game where it's super crispy and you wreck everything. Next game, you're dying around corners, and that's why you rage, because you're that one game that made you think I'm
That's
amazing.
the expectation.
Yeah, and the expectation just kills you.
Like,
And-
you see this? I knew I was the fucking best. Like, they just
Yeah.
didn't let me do it.
Yeah, I knew I was the best, and it's even better when it's against the same people. Like, it's when nobody backs out and you wreck a lobby, and then the host switches, and you're like, right, I've got this, boys. These kids are shit, and then you get wrecked, and you're like,
For the rest of the
motherfucker.
game. 'Cause
It's
that
worse when you're on
host,
a live stream.
Oh god.
oh, it's terrible. That's why they put skill-based matchmaking in the game, baby.
It's still in. Advanced
Yeah.
Warfare?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're not taking it out. They've said they're not taking it out.
Do you know the great thing about the PC version of the game? Jive, you should play it on PC because it plays completely differently. But the great thing about the PC version is so few people are playing it that skill-based matchmaking has virtually no effect whatsoever. So
Yeah,
quite a lot
I'm
of
not
the
buying
time,
that
I'm in
shit.
a lobby full of shitters.
How many people are on right now? Can you check?
You can't
Usually it's like
check it, it's-
2,000.
Yeah,
You-
it's
you
not.
use like I remember Black Ops 2 at a peak time was like 6,000 users.
Yeah.
That
So
was a
that's
good
Black
game,
Ops
though.
2.
I'll
That
tell you a
was-
funny story.
Well, not a good game, but it was better than Advanced Warfare.
The other day, I went on Ghost on PC because I got my new setup. I was going through all every game I had because I've got a 980 now. I've got a new PC, and I was like, right, I'm gonna set up all my settings. So I jumped in Ghost, and even on a 980, that game looks like shit. And that game tells you the player numbers. There are 1,000 people on PC still playing that game. 1,000.
I went to World at War today, earlier this week, and there's like 1,100.
But that's all
yeah.
zombies though.
It is.
Like, yeah, because if you look at the game thing on World at War in
I
particular,
did a commentary about this.
you could you'll say like TDM, there's 75 or 75 people, and then you go like the mercenary TDM, there's probably another 30, and then the FAA has 10 people, and then everything else is nothing.
I played Black
I did a
Ops.
commentary about it. Sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
did a commentary about this, and people keep beating me in the head that I'm like, where are... It was 107,000 people online on Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
And I clearly went to Core, and it was 50. I'm just gonna throw a number: 52,000 in core, and 42,000 was in team deathmatch. And then it varied, and then it added up to 52,000. And then I'm like, where are the other people? And they're like, they're not in my comments. They're not in zombies because they have their own number. They have their own number because they just do it separately, but it counts as all the people online.
Yeah, they're technically using the Call of Duty servers. That's what that number is.
Exactly.
That number doesn't count. Like when I play a really unpopulated, I get it might count, but like I play Ground War and World at War, and there's 0 people. It shows up that there's 0 people in the pregame lobby, but then I find a game.
I tell you why that is. Tell you why that is, and I didn't write this in your comment section, Jive, but actually those numbers are regional. Like those numbers are for your set region. So if I play Ghosts on PS4 here, it will say 9,000, and if I have a friend in America who's playing, it will say 7 or 11 or whatever, and it's actually done on region. So I think in Black Ops 2 that's global. You know that big number 107 you're talking about? That's global. Whereas the things you see in the playlist are your regional settings.
So I'm just trying to tell these people that they say, oh, I see why Black Ops 2 is so great. It's 107,000 people online. It's not 107,000 people online playing multiplayer. They're doing something else. I
always thought they were Alky David in that motherfucker.
Boosting numbers?
Yeah, boosting numbers. I always thought they just boosted numbers.
I
they can put whatever the fuck
there's
number they
something
want there.
fishy because they're either boosting numbers because it was 50. Hold on, I had the numbers.
You actually wrote these motherfucking numbers down?
Yeah, because I did a commentary about it. Like it was 57,000 unaccounted people for. Like either 57,000 people were just sitting at the main menu. Like, come on. They really believe that? They were sitting in my comments talking about, yeah, they're in private matches. 57,000 people, not 3,000. 57,000. I'm like, come on.
We need fisticuffs to break this down.
Right.
And find what's at the root of this issue.
The only legit number I've ever seen was on Xbox One Ghosts. There was like 24 people in the Cranked playlist, and I couldn't find a game. So I think that number was real.
Yeah.
Like
I think all Infinity Ward numbers are accurate.
I would like to point out that Cranked is a good example that people don't want rush gameplay.
No, they don't. I'm in complete agreement with you about this. People say, and it's even worse actually, Geordie. It's even worse because I think people in the podcast will know that Geordie and I play COD quite differently, right? But I'm friends with
same means to the end. Same means to the end.
Exactly. Right. Fine. But Russia's always used to make the argument that people want to play like them, right? That most people like fast-paced Call of Duty action. Well, I think that's not true. I think people say that they like that because it's more impressive. You get more.
You ever catch somebody that claims they're a Rusher and then they have like more statuesque trophies than you?
No. Me, no.
But, I mean, this is a PK, so I'm going to call him out. Legend of Thunder in Modern Warfare 2. He used to make fun of me for camping. You know, hear the thunder roar. He used to call me for camping. And then we got together on Xbox. He had like 1,000 more statuesque achievements than I did. Statuesque.
What is that?
It's an achievement in Modern Warfare 2 for the person that moves the least in the actual match.
It's a medal you get after the game.
It's a medal, right?
I know what you mean.
It's called statuesque. If you move the least, you're the person that moved the least that match. He had 1,000 more than me.
1,000?
1,000.
How many games did you have at the time?
This is Xbox. I had played most of mine on PS3.
Okay.
So that there's a little variance there. But like I'm like, come on, Thunder. We were both max prestige when I made this observation. So we both had good playtime, man.
Bam, bitch.
It's definitely true. People don't actually play like that, and I don't think they want it. And despite what everyone says about Ghost being too big, there's a huge part of the COD audience that loves that. That loves the the statuesque style of COD, and that's why.
Ghost maps were way too big.
Yeah. I mean, we won't get into why Ghost is bad. I mean, it's been done so many times, but like that's another reason why you hear this quite a lot. Like old school COD players that I notice quite a lot, YouTubers from back in the day, and they're all like, Advanced Warfare doesn't feel like COD because of all the movements and things like that. It's not COD to me. And I know what they mean, because I say the same thing, in that you can't ever defend anywhere because everyone's flying everywhere and you can't watch every angle available in three-dimensional space. Like, it's just impossible. You can't do that. And I can tell when someone says that, generally, it's because they like playing COD slightly more defensively. Not necessarily camping, but like...
They like traffic patterns.
Yeah,
And you know what? I did
that.
a commentary about people liking traffic patterns and how double jump will destroy Call of Duty's flow. And people called me a camper. I'm like, you're fucking. I'm like, no, motherfucker. Even a rusher wants a flow because if the map doesn't flow, you don't know where to flank.
I think it got to be a mixture. It can't like a game with all rushers would just be chaos.
It would be AIDS.
Game with all campers would just be boring and
Just
dumb.
think about it. If everybody's rushing, as soon as you flank and get that 2 kills, there's a guy looking right at you.
Right behind
Right
you.
at you.
Right
because
beside
you. Can't beat
something.
3 people in a gunfight. You can't do it.
Isn't that Advanced Warfare?
I don't care if you're fucking Mark
Yeah,
and Jay.
it is.
I don't care if Pawn Stars and Mark and Jay have a child. He couldn't beat 3 people in a gunfight at the same time every time.
Especially not in
every
Advanced
time.
Warfare.
I think they could definitely do it. Like, I can do it. I've done it. Like,
Well, you've done it, but there's an element of like one of those 3 guys might not have been looking.
Yeah. No,
somebody
you're absolutely right about that. You're wagering on. That's a gamble. It's a low percentage.
Tell me how.
And it comes.
Tell me how you will beat this gunfight. Right. You're playing Advanced Warfare. You capture the C flag. It's 3 guys facing you. One guy is up here exoing. One guy just exoed that way, and one guy is on the ground.
No, you're dead.
How would you beat that?
You're dead. You're dead. If there's
what
one
were
of
they thinking?
You're dead most of the time.
Yeah, you're dead. And the reason
Not
why,
even
My
most of the
first
time.
instinct would be to backstrafe though,
Yeah.
backstrafe to try to get cover.
Yeah, double jump. Make.
Yeah, but they could jump over cover and.
Well, not if you go to a building. That's the beauty of buildings.
Also,
But that's
you
the price
didn't.
you
Oh, but
pay.
I'm talking. I said, how would you win that gunfight? You have to. I'm talking about you.
You can't
you're
win
killing-
that scenario.
You're killing
You
those 3
can't
people.
win that
That's
scenario.
what I meant.
That flying V Mighty Duck shit that you just came up with. You can't win that. So
That
you got to
happens
change
all
the
the
scenario.
Yeah,
you got to
but-
be Captain Kirk in this motherfucker and be
But
like,
if-
all right, I don't like this. I'm changing up. You're playing my game my
Gotta
way.
run.
But if
like-
you were playing any other COD, and there were 3 people that weren't relatively close together,
You could
and they
win it.
all saw you, and you didn't really have cover, or you were being aggressive, or you were flanking, you're probably
would
dead.
die.
You're probably dead.
But
And-
there was not many situations in the old Call of Duties where like 3 people would see you unless you put yourself in a really bad situation
Yeah,
by
B
going.
flag.
Unless you're just
It's
out in the
called
open,
B-flag.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in Advanced Warfare, let's just say it was a head glitch there. And that same V, you're still dead if you're covered there.
They
But
jump over and get a better angle on you.
yeah, they
Oh.
just fucking shoot your dumb ass. But in Black Ops 1 or Modern Warfare 2, if that cover's there and you see 3 people, you can win that.
Yeah, no, you can. But Advanced Warfare is a different game. It's not designed for the things that pub stompers like. Like, I call anyone who likes playing the game and wrecking lobbies and getting all their streaks pub stompers, right? Because that's what they are. They're in public lobbies and they want to shit all over these shitkids, right? So that game isn't designed for that. It's designed and works best in 4v4, where each gunfight means a lot, right? So if there's lower player numbers and there's an objective, all the movement becomes crucial in avoiding death and all that kind of stuff. It's not actually made for us, right? That game. It's not made to satisfy our tastes at all. And I think when you look at it like that, it's.
I don't
completely
understand.
different.
I don't understand creating a game like that though, because like you need to pander to the least common denominator because the pro players are such a small percentage of what your player base actually is. Like, see, how many pro players are there? 200, if that.
Relevant pro players. There's probably only about 40.
Out of like how many copies? How many copies does Call of Duty sell? 2.5, 3 million.
Yeah, something like that.
You know, just 3-4 million copies that get sold, and 200 people who you're making the game for.
But that's why they put skill-based matchmaking in, because for the game to be fun for most people who have.
Yeah, but what's the chance of running into a person like me other than skill-based matchmaking? When I played the older Call of Duties, Ghost and them, I hardly ever ran into a good player. Like, you ran into one every now and then, but you didn't hit one every fucking lobby.
And the thing is, Wings, when you wreck a lobby and then that good player comes in and then you invite that. You're like, yeah, we got a good player on the other team. Let's get it on.
Let's team up, baby.
Yeah,
but in Advanced Warfare, it's like, he's good. He's like,
fuck all y'all motherfuckers. I'm out.
The thing is,
how is that fun?
I don't think any of them are good. It's just the leg. From
They're competent. They're all competent. That's the fact is they're competent because I would get killed in situations where I normally would never even fear death.
Yeah.
Like if I got a good camping spot, bad players can't get me out of it.
Like they're probably not good, but they have motor skills or they have coordination.
I think Jordy's right. I think they're competent. I think that it is that system of matching you up against similar skilled players is much more effective than we let on, and that's why the games are all closer and everyone's KD comes closer to 1. And to answer Jordy's point, the reason why you would make a game like that, I don't agree with this, but I'm just going to play devil's advocate because I like the same shit that you do. But the reason why they've done it is that they look at League of Legends and Dota and CSGO, and they go, it's the 3 biggest esports in the world, and actually the game is the esport, right? And that's why it's so huge. But they're all PC games. They'll ignore that fact. Now, they know that if they make a game that's really good for pros, COD esports is small compared to those others, but is growing. And if they want to move COD into any sort of longevity whatsoever, like the other 3 games have, because CSGO is basically the same game since 2010, like League and Dota are basically the same game anyway. They're copies of each other.
CSGO's the same game since 94, dude.
Yeah. So they know that they can ship these same games and keep the audience and keep the revenue stream of those other things. And that's where they want to move. Now, I don't agree with that because I like COD to be fun and the lobbies to be randomized because then it's like it's COD, right? That's what COD is to us. COD publics are just like fun and it's kind of random whether you meet a good player. And like you said, a great moment when you meet another good player and they prove themselves against you in the lobby. That's a great moment, when you actually give someone
friends
respect.
List.
Sorry?
That's my entire friend list right there you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost everybody you met that's not a YouTuber on my friends list came from meeting them in a game and be like, dude, we just need to team up. Why are we fighting each other?
Yeah.
We both could be having good games right now.
Right.
I don't like watching competitive COD, especially in Advanced Warfare. It's like way too fast. They need like a different camera angle or camera system.
Yeah.
Here's what I don't like about Advanced Warfare or Call of Duty in general. They don't play the fucking game. They always take shit out. They'll either take the foul out. You can't use this gun. You can't use this thing. You can't.
I don't agree with that.
You need to play the fucking game. When you play a game and it's the same game I'm playing when I get on and play with my buddies, I can use the strategies you use against the high level players against all the people I play against. But when you play a variation of that game, it makes me not want to watch because now you're good at a variation of Call of Duty.
But I think
the weapons. I agree with the weapons. They should keep the weapons in the game. But I do agree with them taking out like Cloak and the dumb shit that nobody really asked for. That's the stuff they put in the game for the noobs and the
but
people.
if you can use it right, why shouldn't you? Maybe there's a strategy where the entire team cloaks on a flag.
Because
I would like to see that.
Because I think that they've got to consider 2 options. One is they've got to consider that actually someone using dual cap 40s and a riot shield in the early days of Black Ops 2 competitive isn't great to watch, right? And on top of that, building on that point, is that there needs to be a separation between the pros and the people that watch it because the sport needs to have enough respect for people watching to go, I couldn't do that.
Let me play
some people can't play without Cloak or whatever.
Yeah.
See, you're not a pro, buddy.
Let me play this devil's advocate. First off, if they're using Cat 40's riot shield, this will make the developer fucking patch those things if they're fucking boring to watch. Well, obviously something's wrong here if they're using a secondary And it's just
I
like
agree
this.
with
It's like
that.
TDM. Like TDM. The reason they don't play TDM is because there's like 5 kills in the total match and everybody's fucking hiding. That's what I understand that.
Yeah.
But the other side, if you allow everything in your game to be used, then they can see the flaws in their fucking game. Just like C4. C4 should have been gone 3 Call of Duties ago.
Wings, you
No.
that's white boy
Why?
shit right
I
there.
love the sea.
But did you not see the Team Optic versus like Wicked Elite?
I saw it. It was Modern Warfare.
It was a C4 fucking throwing a thon.
Yo,
Yeah,
Modern
but
War, I was gonna say why I agree with you, Wings. I was gonna say in Modern Warfare 2, they might as well just use Danger Close Noob Tube. But you really made sense when you said they would just nerf it. Then
They
we
did-
would have had a nerfed. We would have had a
everything
perfect
would have
Modern
been more
Warfare 2
balanced,
right
more
now.
balanced. And to separate the pros from regular players, StarCraft when I was young was the biggest fucking game in the world. You know, it was on G4, it was on Tech TV. They showed StarCraft tournaments on fucking TV. Big fucking game. And that game was the exact same game I played when I logged in on Battle.net. The pros stood out because they were fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also,
That's
I mean,
all a pro should be.
let's not bullshit though. The biggest audience for COD is in TDM, right? And
Definitely.
they make the game modes that the pros play objective because it's best to watch. So they're already not playing the game. I mean, who the fuck plays Capture the Flag? Like, just, just play
Pro
Capture
players.
the Flag. I wouldn't play Capture the fucking Flag.
Fuck.
For
went back-
the longest time, I didn't play anything other than TDM because I found getting flags distracting. I just want to shoot things in the face. All of this flag nonsense is just getting in the way. I need to run around and shoot things in the face. Don't stop me from doing that. And there's a lot of players like that. This is the reason why TDM is the biggest playlist, right? There's a reason for that.
Do you think it's because it's first in the list, or just
No.
because people like
It-
that?
it's the biggest thing because
They
like
just want to kill.
Yeah, they just
reason
want
I,
basic.
reason I play TDM is because I don't want people to be like, you only play objective to camp. Like, motherfucker, the
just
old objective at
killing,
TDM
yeah.
is to camp.
Yeah, it's the kill. But like I was gonna say, you can tell that pro player that that they were catering to them when Black Ops 1 came out. Like it was like, hey, if you want ninja, you have to play search and destroy. You have to if you want marathon, you have to capture how many flags
It was
Like,
15.
just
It was
was
Flak Jacket
stupid.
Pro, man.
Floods.
Flak Jacket
I
Pro.
boosted for it. Now I
Sit
got
rep
somebody to run to capture the flag, run up there. I was hiding near the flag, and then he'll kill himself. And then I would capture the flag and then run in the
Oh.
goal.
I went back to Black Ops 1 and I had 0 captures
Yup.
on Capture the Flag for
I had to
Marathon
boost
Pro.
for that shit. Now ban me, motherfucker.
Uplink is really good to watch though in Advanced Warfare.
It's
There's
very-
like
it sucks to play though.
Yeah.
But it's
Because
great
you
to watch.
die. You die.
You can't get kill streaks in it either.
But the thing is
Fuck
that,
no.
but that makes a good competitive mode, right? Because the game's 4v4 and each pick counts way more than it would if it was 6v6. And I understand why they've made the game the way they have. Now, I was going to ask you guys a question because I'm thinking about this, right? Since I've swapped over to PC, my mouse and keyboard skills have far outstripped my controller skills. Now, there's a thing called a XIM4 that you can use to use a mouse and keyboard on console. And I'm going to ask you, if you got killed by someone that was in Advanced Warfare or any COD that was jump, drop shotting, all that kind of stuff, and they had laser-like fucking aim, and you knew that they were using one of these things in a mouse and keyboard, would you consider that cheating?
No, because here's the thing. Here's the thing. I can go on to Black Ops 2 on the PC and use like my Xbox One controller and come out on top of the lobby. Because you're facing a player's skill, not the controller itself.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's without like the little tug aim that Call of Duty gives you.
Yeah, aim assist. But if
Aim
you
assist.
if I was using a mouse and keyboard on console, I would have a mouse
No.
and keyboard precision and aim assist.
Yo, I didn't use them.
It won't
I
work
had-
it won't work as
What was it
well on
called?
the console though. I'm sorry, Josh.
Yeah, it sucks. I used this thing. It was called Eagle. Damn, it was on the PS4 because my controller skills were like I was getting so used to mouse and keyboard, And then I went back to play, and then I just was like horrible with the controller.
Yeah.
So my cousin, he had the Eagle something. It was for the PS3, and then I got it, and then I used it for a couple games, and it's so bad. And with aim assist, like it just doesn't.
Aim
feel
assist is
right.
going to kill you. Like
No,
here's the thing. Here's
I
the
don't
thing you're
think so.
neglecting, Eddie. Here, let me tell you.
Okay,
Here's
carry
the thing you're neglecting on the PC. Advanced Warfare. That's what I'm speaking about. When you're the skills that you're getting on the PC are against other people with PC games, so they don't have aim assist at all. So when you jump and you strafe over here, they don't have anything tugging over there to try to keep you on you. So they're
Yeah.
going to miss you. That's why there's a lot more jumping and back and forth strafing in PC games where it doesn't work on console games. So console games just going to get ate up with an assault rifle because it's easy as fuck to go tug, boom, 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 boom.
I think my point is the auto aim works way better with a controller. It really does.
Now,
I'm not even gonna lie to you.
The only thing that I have to counter that is that I did a lot of research about this because I was, as a YouTuber, and all of us will know this, like, especially channels based around COD. If the COD that year isn't that great, we're not fucked, but it's not a pleasant place to be necessarily for that yearly cycle, right? And playing COD on PC, although more fun because the game plays differently, isn't as good, right? COD is a console game.
Yeah.
So for the next COD, I was gonna get a PS4 and play it on that because of the player numbers and because of the community and all that kind of stuff. But I was going to use mouse and keyboard, and in the research that I did with people using this, there's people who are just like posting gameplays of them and showing their stats and stuff like that. I know you can't always believe this, but some of these guys, right, they show their PC gameplay and then they show them on console, and like some of these guys have 30% accuracy with automatics. Now, any like COD veteran will know that mid-20s with a submachine gun is doing fucking amazing, right? Like that is fucking amazing.
But that's probably just people trying to help promote that item.
I'm at 36% on Ghost with fully automatic assault rifles.
And if like it's a little kid named TBNR R&B Frags or whatever.
The best
his name
never
is.
rest, yeah.
He used the Zim on like the Xbox, and he wasn't that good.
Yeah, he got trashed on console.
And on PC,
Well,
that
it's two
motherfucker
different
looked like
worlds.
a fucking beast. Cause
Yeah,
and it's another dude. What's his
Orb.
name?
Incredible Orb.
Credible Orb, yeah.
Not Orb.
It gets like 8 mobs a game.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 3. It's
on PC.
I got called a hater when I pointed it out. I'm like, these guys are playing on PC. This is Modern Warfare 3, obviously. Like, these guys are playing against the same shit kids over and over and over again. Yeah, they're going to mow 8 times a
He has
damn
a
day.
beard. I forgot his name. He's from like Canada. He has a beard and he plays on the
Justra.
Xbox.
Justra.
Justra's not that good. Like he played
Justra
with
sucks ass.
He played with Zim. Like he played with mouse and keyboard. But I'm not saying like if you're good regardless if you use like if that mouse and keyboard guy gets in there with Scumpy, like Scumpy got the auto aim and like he's gonna fuck him up. Like if the guy's not that good.
That goes to 2 different things. It's like a good PC player isn't going to beat a good console player. It's 2 different worlds. It's like Battlefield. Like people think that the best PC guys are on Battlefield. I'm like, yeah, they're good. There's great PC guys on Battlefield that do amazing things. Let them come to console.
Well,
Yeah, exactly. Like
Let
if
him come to
Scumpy
console.
goes to
If I go to their world, I get trashed. They
yeah,
come to my
exactly.
world,
That's what I was gonna
Right.
say. If Scumpy goes over there, he's gonna get fucked up.
Well, I'm going to
just
run
where
this
you at.
experiment. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get
But
one.
you're good. You're good on PC. Then you're probably gonna be good on console.
Yeah.
Like, well, if skill-based matchmaking ain't in the fucking game, but
I'm going to try.
You got to run the numbers, Eddie. You got to run the numbers. Like you just can't be physical observation. You got to play like 25 games on PC, and then come play 25 games on console,
Yeah.
and then run the numbers. What's your score per minute? What's your KD? How many matches did you win? How many matches did you lose? And then that would be the hard data.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to do it because I want to find out. Because if it's viable, then that's what I'll do. Because I like now holding a controller. Like my aim is so windy with a controller now. It's terrible compared to what it was. Because I'm
horrible.
I'm overshooting because I'm expecting there to be no tug. So I'm anticipating them moving and aiming for it. And
they just stopping right before them or after
But the aim
them.
assist has already stuck me to them, and I'm overcompensating both ways. And I hate that because it makes me feel like I'm the idiot, right? Like I'm the one like who's lost all his controller skill. So
It's motor skills. It's not something. It's muscle memory. It's not something that you lose and gain. It's just something that happens.
yeah. But
Like Clubby Dubby, he plays both. Like he plays console, and I was talking to him the other day. I said, "Yo," I said, I had my PS4 sitting for so fucking long that when I played the other day, I was just terrible. And he was like, "Yeah, you gotta just keep playing." He said, "I gotta play like 8 games or something, and then it'll come back."
It comes back to your brain. Like I had that trouble when I switched controllers. If I'm playing PS4 and I switch to Xbox One, I can't play first-person shooters on Xbox One for like 5 games.
It's the worst going back from like PC shooter to Grand Theft Auto on the PS4 to Xbox One.
I didn't touch my PS4 for about 4 or 5 months, just playing PC.
You gotta get on that Battlefield 4 with your homeboy.
Oh, Battlefield 4 was my shit. And then I went back. I said, you know what? I'm gonna go back and play some Battlefield 4 with wings. And that's when I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like I had to get in the vehicle with you and shit. I'm like, yo, I can't do shit.
That's how everybody plays with me. They always ride the turret.
You guys don't know.
I'm an amazing tank driver. I'm like 1%.
You're good. Then I got used to it. Then I jumped out and then started shooting. And I'm like, yeah, all right, I got my
good. So motherfucker, I'm 1% in the tank. Very few motherfuckers can put me on the PlayStation with the tank. And the PlayStation 4 is the biggest Battlefield network. I want to put that out there. PlayStation
Definitely.
4 is the biggest
That's
Battlefield
what I'm
network.
talking about. Do you think Battlefield 4 is the best next-gen game so far?
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
100%.
The thing
I'm
about
1,000%.
if we're just going to go on a Battlefield 4 loving just for like 5 minutes, the thing that set it apart for me was it's the first time that Battlefield has been Battlefield on console. Like it's the first time that it wasn't some kind like gimped version of the game, and I played that and got more enjoyment out of than I did Ghosts and Advanced Warfare. Like I could always rely on Battlefield 4 for really good fun, and like Geordie said a couple of weeks ago, there's a million different ways you can play that game. Like you can be vehicle, you can be jet, you can be infantry, you can like, and even in infantry, there's 4 different ways.
You can be
to
scout
play.
sniper.
Yeah, you can if you really want to sit at the back of your spawn and long range snipe people. Your team won't thank you for it if you're playing Conquest, but you can play that way. And that's the great thing about Battlefield. COD's a very linear, narrow game, right? So you develop a certain set of skills, much like Liam Neeson. Like, I have a very particular set of skills that I will use against you if you're good. And what I did find, though, is being good at COD definitely helped me playing Battlefield 4 specifically, as infantry.
Infantry, definitely.
Because I don't think Battlefield players necessarily are used to someone that can do the things that a good COD player can do. That might have changed now because it's on console.
But
the beginning.
They will fuck you up. If they're in a vehicle or something and you're only used to COD, you will get fucked up.
I mean,
you're used to the weapons locking on and stuff like that. In a second, you're
there
gonna
is a
get
barrier of entry to it. I think that people who are unfamiliar to it are like, I just play Conquest. It's like a super large domination. You hear this all the time. I'm just running around and I run around for 5 minutes and I don't find anyone to kill and then I get shot in the back.
That's just the excuses. That's the excuses.
But to be fair, when I first played it, I only played Domination when I first played Battlefield 4. And then slowly but surely I went into Conquest. And it got to the point where I could play Conquest solo.
Because
as a sniper and drop like 50 kills.
I put it as this. Like, you live in a city. You live in a big city. That's the map. You don't walk everywhere. You just don't.
No.
It's transportation on these maps. I'm tired of these excuses. Jive, I can't play Battlefield. I just was running around. Well,
running
what
simulator.
the fuck are you
I'm
running for?
Like my
Why
buddy
are you
Kelly
running?
was on me the other day. I'm like, why the fuck are you running? Seriously.
Yeah, hop in a boat. Like you got a mini map where it shows where people are, and and people are always on the mini map.
And that boat's
So-
got a motherfucking machine gun on it.
Yeah.
It's way better than your shit.
Yeah.
Jump in a tank, jump in a even if you don't want to use vehicles, jump on a 4-wheeler, ride to your fucking destination.
Get
where
your
the
ass shot
people
up
are,
and then get another one.
jump
Yeah.
off. And
There's
then
kill
fuck 'em up.
streaks. There's kill streaks from COD that you can just spawn in, for God's sake.
Exactly.
What's your favorite vehicle in Battlefield?
Main battle tank.
Yeah, obviously.
I'm trying to learn how to use the
My
chopper.
favorite one to
The
use is
little
the
bird.
attack helicopters though.
If
I don't like the
you're
little
good
bird.
with it,
I
if
don't
you're
like the
really
little
good
bird.
with it, you can wreck. There's this one guy, he streams on PC. I forgot his name, but he just goes like 40 and
Yo,
one every
it's
single
a
game.
guy. His name is. Hold on, I think his name is.
What-
You're not gonna find nobody better than this dude. His name
He
is
has
like.
glasses.
Yes,
I
his
think we're
name is
talking about the-
Wiggity Bear or something
Yes.
like that, and he is so fucking good.
And it
Like,
looks fun to do too. Like
be
He's
fair-
so good.
To be fair, I think that's because the choppers, especially the little bird, are taking them out is too difficult for the offensive power that they have in the game. I'm not saying like
Yeah.
you know people say like
People always say they're overpowered.
when
but
you criticize things in Battlefield, people are like the one word you hear all the time is realism, right? You know, like this is all right. If you're going to talk realism, a Barrett 50 cal doesn't fire at 400 meters per second. It fires about 15 times that. So me shooting across the
2800.
map, like yeah,
2,800 feet a second.
yeah, it would be it would be like playing a hit scan game, but they nerf the snipers, right?
Well,
but then they make the choppers
sniper,
really good.
Well, the snipers they look slower because at that distance they're trying to compensate distance. In that range, bullet will have drop.
Yeah,
It just they want it visible so you can actually judge it.
yeah.
Other than seeing like puffs of dirt pop up behind the guy, and you're like, well, did I hit him? Did I come close? You know.
I don't think that's the reason. I think the reason is that they don't want the snipers being too good.
Well, that's the reason they gave the
But-
lens flare and shit like that when they're like
Yeah.
sitting there just camping out.
They probably think snipers are annoying just like everybody else, though.
I want to throw the numbers out while we're on here. Right now on PlayStation, right this fucking minute, there's 60,428 on Battlefield 4 on the PlayStation Network. PC's got 17,000.
PlayStation is superior.
How
as
many on
always.
Xbox?
Xbox 31, 112.
I think the game is better on PC though. Like having
Yeah,
played
the
both.
game is definitely better on PC.
Well, it's just
Definitely.
it's all about controls. Like there's really hardly any difference. I didn't play
It
Battlefield 4, but I played Battlefield 3 on both of them.
It looks
It's like-
you don't got Battlefield 4 on PC?
No, I got it on PC. I just got
I
it.
say- What? No, but I'm telling you, it looks way better.
Well,
And it
looks
looks
are
nice on
subjective.
PS4.
Looks
It
are
looks
subjective.
nice.
I mean, but the only difference is the controller
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah, it was very
What?
good on PlayStation. I was like
It
level
was good.
105.
I mean, it's good on
love
Xbox.
PlayStation.
I got it on Xbox One.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good on that shit too.
Yeah. But
Is it just me?
PlayStation look better than Xbox.
Is it just me, or is a lot of
Sorry,
games
God.
are a lot of games crashing on the next gen platforms? Like they
Well,
never crashed on PS3.
I want to talk about how games fucking suck. That's what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Preach.
Preach.
And what's bad is I got Ghost, which I deleted and won't ever download again. I got Advanced Warfare. I got what's that game? What's that game that I played once? I played
That's
it
pretty much
literally
everything, Jive.
once.
You say you don't play games.
Dog, I played this game once. One person in the comment was like, and he called himself a gamer. No, I don't call myself a fucking gamer. But anyway, I played, what's the name of it? It was like Grand Theft Auto, but
Saints Row.
no, you could read people's faces. Everybody you walk by, you
Watch Dogs.
watchdog. Oh my God, that game was so fucking bad.
That
How
game
did
is
y'all
fucking
like that
terrible.
game?
Terrible. It's a terrible
Oh
game.
my God.
There's
that
like
game right there made me swear off Ubisoft. I am never buying another Ubisoft product. Fuck
Oh.
Ubisoft. Fuck Assassin's Creed. That shit sucks. Watch Dogs fucking sucks.
Yo, Watch
Far
Dogs
Cry 4 might
so
be good,
bad.
but I won't know because I swore off your fucking products.
Far Cry 4 is good. What about the Division? You're not going to give that a
Fuck
shot?
that noise. I don't know why people want the Division. Let me tell you
I keep
something. Let me
hearing
tell you
about-
something as a motherfucking gamer. I'm a 29-year-old motherfucking gamer. I've been playing games since I was five. I beat Super Mario Brothers at the age of 5. The Division's gonna fucking suck and it's gonna fucking flop. And let me tell you why it's gonna flop. I know
Uh-oh.
you're looking at it and you're thinking like, oh man, it's got the weather effects. It's got all this rain and shit. It's a third-person motherfucking shooter. We're not fucking 1998 anymore, motherfuckers. This ain't SOCOM. Nobody played that shit. You know why SOCOM's not getting made now? Because nobody played that shit. Tom Clancy games fucking suck.
Nobody played SOCOM?
Where's it at now, Jive? You know why? You
Oh,
know why
no,
they
it's-
quit making
I mean,
it? You know why they
it's
quit making it? Because the people quit playing that bullshit.
No, they fucked it up. After SOCOM 2, they did fuck it up. Like,
Technically, though, like Mass Effect is a third-person shooter, and people played that. Believe
That's a
me.
single-player game, though.
Okay, but like, say,
Game-
I play
DayZ
third-person shooters.
Both DayZ and H1Z1 are
Those-
third person.
I'm talking about
for the
Shooters.
most-
console Twitch shooter third-person.
But these
Gears
are
of War.
This isn't a
Who
Twitch
buys
shooter.
fucking Gears of War anymore?
I would buy Gears of War if they made a decent one.
The
would.
Division is like a open world kind of exploration, like in an abandoned city after the apocalypse. I think.
yeah, I think it is.
But more
It's
to
a
Geordie's
third-person
point.
shooter.
More to Geordie's point. I think where he's going. Sorry to paraphrase you here, Geordie, but I think where you're going is that games now suck.
They do fucking suck. Like, look at this. I recently got the Order 1886. Terrible fucking game. It's
Uh-oh.
not as bad as people make it out to be, but it's still a terrible fucking game. This is the type of game they charge $60 goddamn dollars for, and all it is an interactive fucking cutscene. The whole fucking game is an interactive
A
cutscene
cutscene, yeah.
that you can't skip. You can't fucking skip any of these cutscenes. Oh Lord, Master, I don't want to miss the intricate plot. The plot's fucking dull. You're talking about werewolves and vampires. You kill 6 of the motherfucking werewolves in the entire fucking 8-hour span of the game. It's fucking terrible. And I recently got Resident Evil Revelations 2, another game that people don't understand what their fans fucking want. We want
Yeah.
survival horror. We don't want Call of Duty with survival horror elements. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah, they,
See that
Lords of the Fallen. How many of y'all played Lords of the Fallen, the Dark Souls clone?
No.
That shit crashed on me 12 goddamn times on the PlayStation. It had a fucking HD resolution pack on day 1. Nobody gives a fuck.
yo, console games are not supposed to crash. I'm sorry.
It's not. Every game I've played lately has been fucking hot garbage. There's nothing I'm excited for because every time I get excited for something, it sucks fucking dick. Back when I used to play games, when I used to get a game, there was no such thing as a patch. That game worked on the day it came out, and it
Yo,
worked fucking flawlessly.
I was
Take
telling
more
people that.
motherfucking time.
No, it's true. It's absolutely true. Like so on my channel, I get a few people who are like, "Come back to console" and all this kind of stuff. And the main reason I use is that I didn't leave consoles, okay, but consoles left me. And the reason why I say that is because the 360 and the PS3 when they came out were cutting edge, right? And we had never seen shit like that, okay, ever. And these consoles are kind of make weights. They feel like they're underpowered, and they feel temporary in some way that's intangible that I can't explain.
I
They
think
don't feel
there's not
like
a difference.
yeah, they don't feel
I
like
remember-
the gap between the
I
first.
remember having a
Xbox.
PS2 and I went to a GameStop and I seen the 360 when the 360 first
Yeah.
came out. And I'm like, and it had Fight Night round 2, I think, on the fucking game. And I'm like, holy dog shit, how do you get better than this? Like the graphics were like almost
Yeah.
lifelike.
Yeah,
Like I remember the first time I ever seen a 360 and it's
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
I have to have this, you know?
I think the
and it,
next
like,
leap will come.
They didn't have that leap. It didn't have it.
I,
All
I
they did
saw
was clean up
Madden. I
PlayStation
saw
3.
Madden on PS3, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, wow.
The first game that, like, because I didn't, between the ages of, I would say, 17 to 24, I didn't game. I was at uni and I was doing other things. And I came back home one holiday and I went to my friend's house and he had a 360. And I'd never seen 360 before. And he had 2 games. He had Elder Scrolls Oblivion and he had the first Gears of War. Now, no matter what you say about Gears of War, the first time you ever saw the first one, it was just a game changer for me. I had never seen shit like that ever. And the reason is because that also coincided with standard definition into HD. And the 360 and the PS3 led the way, right? One of the reasons why the PS3 was such a big seller in the early days was because it was one of the first Blu-ray players that you could get.
Blu-ray, yep.
So that leap isn't going to happen with a console generation until the leap is to 4K, right? And when even if, right, they make the next console and it's 4K gaming, PC already have it now. And
devil's advocate. They say Xbox One and PS4 are capable of 4K.
Capable, yep. They said it's going to be.
And when it's prevalent, they will
soon.
actually patch it in.
Yeah.
I don't believe that for a second.
I was going to bring that up.
If the Xbox One, and the PS3 both drop frames playing COD now, you're telling me that could handle something?
I completely agree with you. And right now, the Order, for example, they had to put black bars to keep the performance up on the thing at a certain why do you do that? I don't give a fuck about 1080p. When you're out there and you're bitching about 1080p, you're ruining games for other people. If you're out there on the forums I need 60 frames per second 1080p, you're a toxin on gaming. That's what you are. You're a toxic
I don't
gamer.
necessarily believe that. I think there is no excuse. Right.
I would rather the Order be
sides to
800p than 1080p and not have those black bars.
Right.
I would rather the black bars not be there.
Okay, I would rather more frames at a low resolution than a high resolution and less frames. And the reason
I was just saying,
the reason
because
I say
you
that,
can run on a PC, you can run 1080p, but on low.
Anyway, Destiny is a great example of this. Destiny doesn't even run at 1080p on the Xbox One, but it's 30 frames a second. If you're used to 60 frames a second or higher, any shooter playing at 30 looks ridiculous. You can't track motion properly. Fast movements are really difficult to see. And to all those people, right, I'm going to rant here. This is my Geordie rant. To all the people that say that you can't tell the difference between 30 frames a second and 60.
Crazy.
You have broken eyes, okay? If you cannot see that, you're blind, right? And you're controlling your games with fucking braille. That is the only way that you could not tell. And I would prefer lower resolution with higher frames in that argument. Always
Definitely.
more frames.
Especially in a shooter.
Yeah, especially
the frames in a shooter.
60
definitely...
FPS. 60 FPS. If you're playing CS:GO and you're a CS:GO pro, 60 FPS would be they label that as unplayable. Right?
Yeah,
you're not supposed to play
dumb.
that game on sub 100 frames. That's what the community says, right? You're not supposed to because you won't see shit that other people do see. And on PC, where you get more powerful machines, the more frames you have is an advantage. It's an advantage.
Did we all start on consoles and now are kind of PC gamers? Because
I never went back to PC. I mean, I can PC game. I mean, you ever see me control a mouse and keyboard? Be like, holy shit! Why does this motherfucker even touch a console?
Yeah.
But it's I like trophies. That's what I play games for nowadays. The trophy hunt.
No, they do. Consoles do the casual gamer experience.
The little cute casual
stuff.
stuff.
They do. I'm not calling you a casual gamer.
That was a diss.
No,
That
not
was
at
a
all.
good
But
diss.
they do that. They do that experience well. They do the achievements and they do the friends list. Well, we say they do. The
Nice
Xbox
stuff.
One doesn't, but it's just a story for another
Xbox
time.
One doesn't do anything well. I think
Come
it's a
on,
fucking
man.
fluke.
Don't do this. Xbox One is great.
Are you fucking kidding me, Joe?
No, come on. Some of our viewers love the Xbox One. The Xbox One is great.
No.
I'm gonna say it like this. I think Microsoft had a fluke with the 360. The
Yeah.
first one sucked. The 360 was great. The last one sucked.
Yeah.
They're on a playing field where they made more terrible consoles than they have made good ones.
The thing is that we're still talking about the people who thought that Windows Vista was a good idea, right? So it's not like these people are just knocking things out every project. Amazing, knocking it out the park. No, they got lucky. Right, I'll say this about the Xbox One. Any console that can make Drifter angry is a bad console. This is Drifter. The most calm, collected, rational person.
What do you get mad about on
What
the
about
Xbox
T-Mart?
One?
And he just fucking goes crazy. He's like, I can't even send a fucking invite. He said on Twitter, I'm gonna make an Xbox One hate video. Drifter.
Well, I don't care as long as T-Mart. If it makes T-Mart, Mr. Happy Smiley guy, if it makes him angry, that's when we.
But
start
T-Mart's
talking.
T-Mart's selling a personality. He's not really a happy lucky guy.
Aw,
Like T-Mart
come on,
actually
man.
rages a lot. I mean, I played with him in Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
and like he would get
Uh-huh.
upset and rage and get mad. And,
Oh
like,
man, we had this little argument on me and Keemstar and a couple of the fans and blah blah blah. They were like, "Who gets paid to promote Call of Duty?" And I said, "You must be retarded." Like literally, I called them. I said, "You must be smoking that shit if you don't think Call of Duty commentators get paid to promote that game." Like, and he's like, where's the evidence? Like, who's gonna literally have evidence? Like, come on.
I got evidence.
Don't be
Ali A-
stupid.
Ali A's
I
video.
know y'all know, but I'm just like, who the fuck is gonna have evidence? Just don't be dumb.
I'm
We
not su-
know, and I'm questioning, do you get paid for it now, Keemstar? Because, like, I'm questioning, do you get paid for it? Because the way you're, no, they don't. Like, do you get paid, dog? Because people do get paid. I know for a fact, like Ali A, he never says nothing bad about the game. Although I don't watch shit of his, but you know what I mean.
Sorry, Alex, you had an opinion. Go ahead. You've been waiting to talk.
So yeah, I was kind of in that situation where I get it.
Hold on. I think we should let Wings and him talk last because I know they know about like the dark side. You know what I mean? Me and Eddie.
I never made it. I never made it to the paid remote area.
But I know
I
you
want to hear what
know.
Alex says. I want to hear what
So
Alex
I got invited to the Black Ops 2. I think it was the last DLC. They flew me out to New York. I got to play the DLC. And that was the first event before the Ghost event. They didn't invite me to the Ghost event because some bullshit. I have no idea. Oh, because I tried to get Ghost early. And I made like I made a video.
I know what you mean.
No, I made a video. It was on Raid. I said, why Ghost will suck. It was kind of like a dramatic video. Or I said something implying that Ghost has got to suck. And they didn't invite me to that event. Like the PR guy called me up and they were like, we don't like that you made this video and this other video. But I don't know if I think Ali A gets paid because he gets like promoted by their Twitch channel, or like he gets like promoted stuff on Twitch, and there's like a little promotion tab you can kind of tell there.
Okay. So,
But for the DLC things, I didn't get paid for that one. I know a few other of the people who went there didn't get paid. T-Mart.
Listen, this is my main point of getting paid. I'm not saying COD pulled money out and said, here, promote my game. But you get it first, it accumulates to views, that turns into views, and that turns into subs. Therefore, you get paid.
But that's a little different, right?
Yeah,
that's
not really.
That's the argument I was going to say. I don't think there's direct payment. Like Activision are like brown envelope, cash, Ali A, there you go. I don't think it works like that. And I actually had an argument with Drifter about this on Twitter, and I said there are indirect ways of paying people to be favourable to your game. Or not favourable, but withhold criticism publicly. Right? And this is where new media's like, it's got a real big grey area, because the reason why YouTubers are attractive to people who want to sell products is because the viewer thinks that individual YouTuber is like their friend. Like I've said before, I've always made that argument, about PewDiePie. The reason why he's so big is because people think he's their friend, right? Now that's useful from a marketing perspective, because if their friend on the internet says this is good or this is bad, or doesn't shit on something when it's bad, that presents opportunities to like advertisers that they wouldn't have. It's an added messaging system that they can get out to the people they want to get out. And let's be honest, like to someone that I consider truly evil, like a marketing executive, someone who has like a trapped community, not trapped, but like a niche community already locked down. They've got millions of subs. They know that they're into this particular product. That's a fucking goldmine. That's like guaranteed dollars, right? So that's why you see people like gamers sponsored by like Razer and stuff like that. And I don't really have a problem if it's like gamer stuff. But as soon as the first like COD YouTuber starts like hawking coke, right, and they get like a Pepsi sponsorship or something like that. That's when I'll be like, look, you've gone it's a bridge too far, man.
It's happened before. Like I get paid to before I still get little deals here and there, but like a Ubisoft game, I won't get paid to say something good about the game. It's just in the contract that I can't say anything negative against the game on a video where I'm displaying the gameplay. And Pizza Hut did a thing with an app for me and a few other people on Machinima like 2 years ago. So we can get paid to feature that game and not say anything negative against it.
Let me back Jive up here. Ollie has a Modern Warfare 3 trailer video. I know back in the day the gameplay trailer was big. It's like an event that happened yearly.
Yeah.
Here's the next game's trailer. Ollie uploaded a Modern Warfare 3 trailer. It got 21 million views. And at that time, I know what his contract was. His contract was somewhat similar to everybody else's, just like $2.50 per thousand views.
Yeah.
At that rate, he got paid like 50 fucking grand to re-upload a trailer. 50 grand.
That's
You got it first. So Call of Duty didn't pay him though.
That's 50 grand. It's 50 G's, dog.
I do say this though. To all the people that say that you wouldn't do that if you were in their position,
I would do it in a fucking heartbeat. I would do it right
I think
the
a
fuck
lot of
now.
people would. I think a lot of people would because, and this is why I say this, is I think when you're in your early 20s and you're making money playing video games and making videos about them, and someone offers you the equivalent of 50 grand to upload a trailer. I mean, that decision is like
Zero work. Literally
zero work. Like that is ultimately the easiest decision that person has ever had to make.
Envelope. I mean, I'm not hating on Ali A and like PewDiePie and these motherfuckers like Sunday. Sunday is a guy I recently went into a depression over. Like I seen his fucking channel and it hit me to the core. Like it hit
Sunday
me.
Used to follow me on Twitter.
It hit me so bad. I laid in bed and cried for like 2 days. Like I'm like my fucking career's over. I'm never gonna do anything. I don't know why I'm still trying. Like it hurt my feelings. I was like,
why was that?
You showed me that dumbass video he uploaded.
I can't be that person. I can't do it. There's nothing in my makeup that will allow me to be that. Hey guys, you know what I don't like? I don't like to be a murderer.
What'd he do? UGLY. You ain't got no. I'm like, oh my god. These guys, when this dries up, what are you gonna do after this?
He gonna
I don't think he's worried.
Beach with a martini.
Yeah.
A beach with a martini. That's what he's gonna do after this motherfucker. It's like have millions banked.
Yeah, it's like
he's gonna have fuck you money. You know what fuck you money is? $2.5 million living off the interest. He's got it.
Like that's like
sure
the joke
it
from The
does.
Simpsons. How do you sleep at night? On a bed made of money with many beautiful women. I mean, that's the life that a lot of these people lead. And I actually personally think a lot of the hate people get about stuff like that is jealousy. Because let's be honest, like, I don't know about you, but if I could get paid loads of money for doing fucking nothing, I would jump at that.
I would jump at that. I would step on friends' heads to get it.
What they're doing isn't nothing. I mean, they're still entertaining something.
They're
providing something
a
entertaining.
lot of these people aren't entertaining.
I meant-
Not to you guys, but you guys
Least
are.
common
Well, to
denominator.
men.
No.
To children.
I'll just clarify
Yeah.
what I meant. I meant re-uploading a trailer. Right. That's like someone who makes like videos and they're trying to be an entertainer. That's kind of different. I'm talking about uploading a trailer and getting 50 grand. Like that. I mean, that is money for nothing.
I'll definitely do that.
Before somebody call me bitter, fuck yeah, I'm bitter. I'm salty as fuck. So I'm like a salt and vinegar bag of chips over this motherfucker.
Wings, you should do.
Yeah, they still make those.
Yeah.
When you do what I do and you see your empire crumble, you see everything that you built, your whole life just start falling apart slowly, and you see motherfuckers like this get 900,000 views a video when all he's doing, and you could see it. You know this person's like this. You know why I know this person's putting on a fake? Because people don't act like this in real life. I've talked to people in real life. I've talked to people in Xbox Live. Talked to people in the PlayStation Network. You know who I ain't found? I ain't found a motherfucking Sunday yet. Only people I find Sunday on is on YouTube.
Yeah, but
When
but
people
in
first
the same
met me,
way,
they thought I was going to be like, "Hello, ladies and gentlemen."
yeah, like
when we went to that first
comedians,
event.
stand-up comedians aren't like that in real life. Like that's part of the entertainment thing, and that's how YouTube has changed. Like back in the day, like it was about like we've had conversations about this. Like it was about gameplay. It was about being good, right? Especially in the COD scene. And that's changed beyond all reasonable measure because of games like Minecraft, because of the culture that is, because of things like Vine. It's all about being an entertainer. And if you don't fit in that mold, you're not going to be as successful as those people, because that will entertain many more people than it will offend, because the majority of YouTube viewers are younger and they like something to talk about with their friends.
Children have the most free time. They're the people that spend the most time on YouTube.
Yeah, so why do you think like Taylor Swift is popular? What, you think it's because she's gifted musically? No.
No, she's not.
No.
Debatable.
It's not debatable. I mean, like you're trying to say like somebody like Beck isn't better at music than Taylor Swift. Beck is a million times better than Taylor Swift. He can play like 12 instruments where Taylor Swift could probably play a guitar.
It's all perspective, though.
Yeah,
I think another.
I never heard a song from Taylor Swift or Beck.
You never heard "Loser"?
How does it go?
I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me? Everybody's heard "Loser." It's like it's like the quintessential song of the '90s.
I ain't never hear it, motherfucker. No,
Take someone like
You're too damn black, son.
Yeah,
all right,
I think that's what it is.
Let's go that direction. Take someone like Prince, who can literally play any instrument that he chooses.
Right.
The Stevie Wonder was like that. There are people.
You heard Prince, right?
Yeah, Prince was a freaky beast.
But Prince is really interesting because a similar thing happened to him when hip hop turned up. Prince's career dried up because the sensibility and the culture moved on from what he was doing, and he couldn't because he was so unique, he couldn't adapt himself without losing credibility. So he couldn't become like a hip hop artist. He was just Prince, and now he lives off his audience, right? He doesn't have.
Motherfucker can be Ja Rule.
Yeah, well, he probably could, but I don't think Prince.
Ja Rule, he could rap with the motherfucker, so he started getting on the R&B shit, just singing on the hook.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, I mean,
Prince could make an album now, and it would make a lot of money.
not as much as Purple Rain or something like that. Not as much as like the
probably,
biggest hip hop track that came out.
Here's the thing with Prince, though. Prince can tour and still make cheddar.
Yeah.
He don't have to make a new album. I always sit there wondering, like, why don't these old bands make a new album? Because they don't fucking have to. They don't have to put that money into.
They all
The
hate
same
each
people
other.
come listen to the same songs.
Why are they in Manchester right now? Why are they in Manchester, UK? That's because they getting that fucking money over there.
That Manchester money.
Hell yeah. But let's talk. What topics do we have here? What topics?
There's one that we absolutely have to talk about, which is hilarious. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but the woman that got arrested, like masturbating, watching 50 Shades of Grey.
It was a woman?
Yeah. She got caught and arrested, like masturbating in a movie theater watching 50 Shades of Grey.
I don't like 50 Shades of Grey. I'm like, just imagine, let's change the plot of 50 Shades of Grey and pretend like he's a bum.
Yeah.
And he like lives in that fucking trailer or some shit. Now he's just a creep.
Yeah.
He's just a creeper.
I honestly, I never watched it.
That
or
motherfucker
read
was
it
like
or
it
anything.
looked like me and like worked at McDonald's.
Yeah, you're just a dirty scumbag. Like, you
Yeah,
know.
since he's a billionaire with like a good body, he can do this shit.
Do you know what?
He's basically me as a billionaire.
Do you know how 50 Shades of Grey started?
It's a Twilight like fan.
Yeah. It was fan fiction for Twilight. Like, I mean, if there's any lower literary bar that could be set, I don't know. I don't know that one exists.
It's crazy how much money books make. Like
Yeah.
if you get a really good book and turn it into a movie, you make so much money. I'm reading the Walking Dead comics right now because let me get it. This big book. You guys read any comics ever?
I read Preacher. Have you ever read Preacher? I've read a lot of Alan Moore as well, like graphic novels more than comics.
This is like my first thing I read since high school.
I live in a digital age. I don't know what
That's
this read
what I
shit
was
you're
gonna
talking
say,
about
white
is.
boy. I don't really read much, but Game of Thrones really got me wanting to start reading books again.
It's nice to read. Like it's kind of fun using your imagination, and comics. It's very satisfying because you're always like flipping a page.
Yeah.
I feel like it's today. Like we're talking about videos now. It's like the Family Guy. It's like I was making a peanut butter sandwich. That reminded me of a time where was making a peanut butter sandwich, and then something else
Yeah,
happened,
yeah.
and it just like too
Then the
much.
cutscene comes up.
Yeah, I think Twitch has an older audience, and they're a little bit more chill, and they're a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah.
But yeah, young kids are taking over.
Yo, Jordy, if you ever really want to depress yourself, watch a streamer called Summit1G. He got donated 40 grand the other day.
Yeah, Summit's
40 grand.
really good. On
What is this?
PC.
What does Summit play? Like League of
CS:GO.
Legends or some shit?
CS:GO, and he's a lot of H1Z1.
What did he do for 40 grand?
Nothing. The guy
Like
donated.
I want to say, I'm just saying, like, what I'm asking for about the hype. Like, you know,
Who
you're
the hell
like,
are these
sub
people
hype and shit like that.
donating?
Like, because after a while you get numb to it. It's like, okay, man, fuck, just got to donate $50. What am I supposed to say? Like, how can you say something to be like, shit, dog, you donated $50 to me?
I'm
It's
just
like-
here in my room, like sitting down in my sweat, playing video games.
It's like how do you convey it? Like I try to like give them incentives. Like, you know, if you donate more than $50, I'll make you a moderator and shit like that. If you donate this more, I'll give you a friends list slot. And it was kind of like selling friends list again, but like at least there's you know a reward for donating money. Like I don't like that aspect of Twitch. I wouldn't know what the fuck to do if somebody donated 40 grand to me.
Yo,
I think
somebody donated 40 grand to me. The next day, I probably wouldn't be streaming. I probably have a new car or something, and Jobs in his new car.
You'd be
He's not
fucking streaming
anymore.
every fucking day. Don't lie. Like, if someone fucking donated 40 grand, you're like, I'm just going to stream just on the off chance.
I'll stream more, but I think I would disappear.
You know what I would do?
Using that 40
What
grand.
would you do, Alex?
Whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Okay.
This guy said,
But I would definitely get in contact with that guy. Like, you know, I like if somebody's that generous, I would definitely, you know, if he's not on my friends list, and you know, what did
40
he?
grand,
What was his
if you donate-
reaction?
if you donate 40 grand to me, I'll use your money to fly you out.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll fly you out. You know what I mean? We could
We go
chill,
into town. We go
get
make
some
some videos.
bitches. You know what I mean?
It's crazy though, because he outside of like League of Legends, holding like multiple thousands of viewers is fairly difficult. Summit holds like 15 to 25 viewers every stream. And what's funny is he's a North American CSGO pro. And the North American CSGO scene isn't as good as the European one. The Europeans are just better at CSGO. And he's not even on a good team. Right? He's on Area 51 and he's the best player on that team. But they're not even
Is
the
he
most
funny?
Not really. I mean, like
I
he's,
like him.
yeah,
He's
no,
alright.
yeah,
none,
he's
none of the big Twitch guys are good at anything. Like that
no,
Logic
that's
guy.
not
was-
true. Like the big league
Lyric,
guys
Lyric.
are pros. Like
Well, but I'm talking about like Lyric. Like Lyric gets to 30,000. I watched him play a game I played. It was Resident Evil Remaster. The bitch died on like the first zombie on a 30,000 viewer stream, and I'm like, he's like, well, this game sucks. Let's go back to fucking H1Z1. It's like
Lurk's pretty good
Like,
too.
for real?
it's about
Lyric
entertainment.
sucks.
Man.
He sucks at every time I've ever seen him. He's not entertaining. He's fucking terrible.
You
Oh,
you
shit.
don't find him entertaining, but this is the problem: is that we can't equivalate our own taste universally. We can't say what I like.
I
is
want to
good.
get to Lyric's point. I want to get to the point where you don't have to read the chat and you just play a game and the chat feeds itself. There's like a point where the chat just keeps itself entertained.
Yeah, it's about 1,000 viewers.
I
Yeah.
think like El Presador would be an entertaining streamer.
If he could set it
Like
up.
he can't play the game. He's too lazy to set it up. He would be on this. He'd probably be one I guess if he wasn't so fucking lazy, motherfucker. But
If we
I
could
could
have him
see
call
him.
in.
I probably had to call him on the phone or something and put him through the mixer or something.
I'm just saying, you'd have to get him call me in because I don't think he knows how to set Skype up.
Yeah, exactly.
I literally don't. Like, I remember having to walk that motherfucker through on how to like set up his HD PVR. Like literally, there's like 5 fucking cables you got to hook up, and he needed.
Yo, does this annoy you guys? Like, I don't know about you, but when I can't do something, I generally Google it. Right, this magical box that answers any question I ask it. The greatest tool ever invented.
It all depends what it is. Like for some reason, which I've always thought, like if I have a Sony Vegas question, I'll go to somebody I know that's good at Sony Vegas. And like because like it kind of deletes the middleman. I don't have to sort of look through
I'll
like
Google it.
8,000 videos of people giving intros and having bad microphones.
There's some questions where it's like, what's that green thing by the next to the blue box.
The border. What? Why do I have a green border around the fucking video?
Like questions where you can't, you don't know what to Google. I like to go to Twitter with those.
Yeah.
My
I don't know. I
my
get a
most
lot of
Google
questions that I'm
Vegas
just like
question.
Google it. That's what I mean.
My
like,
most Google Vegas question is how to get Sony Vegas free
Yeah, I bet
with
it
a U-turn.
There's always that one that music playing. It's like living in digital.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the key generator.
Yeah.
Everybody know that shit. Yep.
You
And it's
tell we
loud
stole-
as
we
fuck.
stole Sony program or two up in this podcast.
Yo, it's
Yeah.
loud as fuck.
I just
No, y'all should. You see how much Vegas really costs?
I
Like
bought it.
$700. Why'd you buy Vegas? Like literally, like what
And
did that?
Photoshop, like I'm sorry, I'm not
I'm a-
buying that shit,
I'm a
man.
good citizen. All
Yeah,
right.
well, technically,
Well, the money
technically-
y'all make, you know.
I will just Sony representative, dear Sony. I don't use Sony Vegas. I use another third-party program, which I won't divulge for legal reasons.
I'm just
Okay,
saying,
you
like
tell us
Woody
behind
bought
the
the same thing
scenes.
because Woody had a conscience. He's like, well, I feel like I use it, make a lot of money. I should give them some money back. I'm like, okay. I mean, but Sony's exactly like over there fucking bitches and living in mansions and shit. We're not doing that, you know.
I can see if it costs
their
$60.
program's overpriced. Their program is overpriced. It should be at most $120.
Yeah, it is. It's stupid expensive.
the
Because
fact-
listen, I can see if it had divisions, like it had what we do. We use about 4 tracks at the most, like one audio, one video, probably another video for your overlay, another audio, and that's it. Like people that make movies, all right, sell them pro
People
or
make
something else.
Movies don't use Sony Vegas. People that do it professionally. This is like for like
They use
amateur.
Avid.
I know people that do videos and they use Sony Vegas.
Maybe like a YouTuber, but like I'm talking
No
about like a
professional.
movie.
No,
This is
no,
what
no,
I
no.
do.
Professionally.
This is what I do for a living. No professional would use Sony Vegas.
The problem with getting the
Vegas crashes.
illegal version, it's like it runs out of memory when you have so much memory on your computer. There's little glitches that it messes up when you get the
I've never had that
scan
problem.
version. No,
The two pro programs, and this is like the top pro video editing software is made by a company called Avid, and they make Pro Tools. And Avid Media Composer is like the top, like that's what Hollywood studios use and all that kind of stuff. And if people do use Final Cut as well in the industry, but it's like 3-1, and below that is Premiere, right? And people trying to break into the industry maybe would use that, but no pro would use Sony Vegas. So it's all Avid.
What's the reason? What is the valid
Okay,
reason?
so-
Like
I mean, this is Mic Talk 2.0, but the reason why people use Avid is because every program that creates like a project file. So you create a project in Sony Vegas and it creates a project file. Right. What happens with like handling huge volumes of data like video, especially HD or 4K video, is that your computer can crash. And what happens when your computer crashes is that it can ruin the project file, ostensibly deleting all the work you've done. All right. Avid doesn't work like that. Avid doesn't have a project file, and it saves the data in a completely different way. And because of that, even if Avid crashes, you'll never lose your work, and that's why people use it. So it's to do with the stability of the platform, not necessarily any performance. or
well,
anything else.
why don't Sony Vegas just copy that then?
Because it's proprietary. Because
I
Avid
got
designed
music. I got music on a couple of movies that are on Netflix and was on Showtime and stuff like that. And one time, I don't know if they used Sony Vegas. I didn't say, yo, you use Vegas? But one time I sent him the file and he said, great, I'm going to put this in Vegas right now. Maybe it was like to pre-render or they use it for something else. But he was like, yeah, great, I'm going to put this in the in Vegas, in Sony Vegas right now, and then render it or something.
Was
So,
the
you know.
audio project in Vegas? Did you like multi-track in Vegas?
I don't know. I sent it to him. He said he's going to put it in Vegas right now. That's
Could
what I heard.
could he have been a low tier like contractor?
I don't know, but the movie still brings me
Royalties.
nice checks.
Okay.
It's called How Weed Won the West, and it's like a documentary. That's probably why they use Vegas, because it wasn't really a action.
It's not like a
It wasn't
big
really a
studio
movie,
production.
but it was a documentary. This is one of the movies that I was in. Well, I wasn't in the movie, but my music. If you go to the end of the movie and play the song, that's me. How Weed Won the West.
We should find this. You should find this on YouTube.
You know what? I think some freak posted the actual song.
Do you think it would be fun
Weed
to
Won.
make music for like movies, like the soundtrack? Like you make every single sound or every single like music piece to
Say
a
that
movie?
again?
Like, would you work on an entire movie where you're making every single sound, you know, the dramatic leading up to the action sound? And
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like composing some music for it.
would that be fun, you think? Or would it
I
be...
think that would be fun.
A lot
I
of
think
the
that would be
time,
fun.
like, because when I've worked with composers, and you're in like when you're editing the video, you've got an idea about what audio you're going to use, because your composer will have sent you what are called scratch tracks, which are like temporary, versions or
Yeah,
sketches
yeah,
of what
yeah,
he's
yeah.
done. And generally, like, the sound is split into two. So the composer will never do sound effects or what's called Foley. Like, they won't handle that. That'll be a completely different audio house that does that specializes in, like, recording the arrow sounds from Lord of the Rings. There's a whole company that did that. And the composer is literally just, like, left to music. It depends on the scale of your production. Like, if you're dealing with multi-million-dollar productions, they have departments and people to do fucking everything. Like, there's probably a department that makes the tea or the coffee, and that's outsourced. And it's a specific job for somebody. But like on smaller budget stuff, you'll get the composer might do the sound effects as well. It's just really, it comes down to money. Like how many people can you afford to pay to do a job?
I bought this sound effect pack online, and there was like everything you could want.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Whew.
Yeah, usually the composers, they watch the scene and then they play whatever, the keys
Yeah.
on the fly. Like, they're that good. That's
Yeah.
how good they are.
A lot of the audio programs like Logic or Pro Tools.
Pro Tools.
You can import the video timeline into that project.
Into there, yeah.
And it'll play the
then
video, and you can literally like
Play on the
program
fly.
like drums or any music you want through MIDI and stuff like that. So the technology is really sophisticated now. It's really easy to do.
Eddie, how long have you been in your field?
Decade or more.
What exactly do you do?
I've always wondered, like what did John Carpenter do in the '80s when he was editing film? Like, he didn't have Vegas and Premiere and shit.
No, he
Like, what was the ancient technologies of this craft?
Okay, so if you're talking about like editing film, there were massive machines. I've forgotten what they're called, Steinbecks or something like that. And they're absolutely massive. They take up entire rooms. And what they do is they'd make, when you shoot on film back in the day, when you shot something and it was a take that the director thought was useful, he'd say cut and print. Right, so that roll is stopped at that point, and they take that and they go and get it developed. That master print is worth all the money you've spent on your production. So that canister of film is worth an incredible amount, and they make copies of that. And then they would take the copies to this massive machine that played the video at any speed that you wanted. And it was literally like a massive guillotine, and they would cut the film and then cue the next shot up and tape it, like literally with sticky tape. And then when that was done, they'd get the master film copy and essentially do the same, but in a much cleaner, safer environment. And then that would be your master print. And every copy that went out to cinemas would be made from that.
Because I was looking at, I look at like these rappers that be in the studio and they get this big ass soundboard that takes up like half the fucking room, and I'm like,
and they don't use it.
But that's
I'm like
actually
half the shit they're doing on it I can do on Sony Vegas or like Audacity or some shit. I'm like, why do they need this big ass machine?
The thing,
It's more accurate.
well, also the reason is when Jive is absolutely right about that. But those big things, they don't actually record. They're mixing discs, and a lot of the reason why people use them, like the old stuff that's analog, right? So it's not digital audio at that point. A lot of the reason why people use them is that those desks have really high quality preamps and effects in the channels for each individual track. So certain desks sound different to other desks. Like there's
Yeah.
there's a sound that someone might want from an old desk, and then they would take the instruments or whatever through that and then into like a digitizer like Pro Tools, because Pro Tools was the original digital music editing software. Now what you're saying when you say, oh, I can do all that shit, just in Sony Vegas, that's called in the box editing, so you're not using external hardware, and a lot of people are going that way as computers are more
I would say, because
powerful.
like I got a friend, his name, but he got Big Wax. You might have heard of him at this point in his career. But he's a rapper. He started on YouTube. He does his own beats. He raps his own raps and stuff like that. He does everything from like a keyboard hooked up to his laptop.
Yeah.
He just does everything from like programs you can get online.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do that, but I think the external is better. It's more accurate. You can mix better, but like they be having like 200 tracks.
Yeah.
You know what? Each of those knobs are like a track. Like one of the knobs are a track, and all you need for a song is you need like 12 tracks. That's all you need for a song.
Yeah. So back in the day, like what they used to do is they used tape. They used 2-inch tape.
Yeah.
And what they would have to do for records is they would have to do a process that's called mix downing. So they would record, say, like they've mic'd up the drums, right, and the guitar players are playing at the same time. So like a rock band, and they would mix down the drums from like the 8 tracks available on the tape down to 1. So or 3 actually. They usually drums were done in 3. So they're mixed down to that, and they would record and then mix down, record, mix down, record, mix down, and that's how it was done. And now, obviously, with like digital, you can just have like 200 tracks
because
running at the same time.
You could have one big mix down instead of all the other mix downs now, because they have so many more.
Now, what does the word mix down mean? Like, what is that?
Mix down, like I just explained. So they'd record, say, like they're recording the drums, and it would take
we were doing. Mix down is what we were doing before we started recording today.
Yeah.
Oh, where you just get the audio levels.
He basically was mixing it down.
Mix down is like you would record 4 tracks, and that might be the drums mic'd up, so
making it into one.
Yeah, and you
layer them.
Yeah, you'd
so it was 4 of us.
You'd re-record those 4 tracks out as one, and then those drums are mixed down, and then you would add more instruments.
So that's layering. That's what I call it.
Yeah, essentially, it's a process that people don't have to do anymore.
Like I was in a band, and like we tried to record, and what they would do is they'd layer my vocal.
Yeah.
And then make it a vocal sound bigger than it actually is. That's why if you get somebody in like a concert, they don't sound nothing like they sound on the album.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's it. Like back in the day when people had to do that, when they had to layer sounds and mix down and all that kind of stuff. Every time you do that, you're talking about analog tape, right? That's going through a tape head. So potentially there's loss in there. And with digital, there's no loss once you've got the audio in. Like it's all digital, so you're just handling ones and zeros. And, some people still argue about whether analog or digital sounds better, but to be honest, like, everybody is digital now, like, in virtually everything. Yeah. I tell you one film that wasn't shot digitally. I
like analog better.
Is Interstellar wasn't shot on digital. That was shot on film because the director likes film or whatever. Like, Nolan doesn't shoot on digital. He only shoots on film.
So, Eddie, do you edit? Is, like, that's what you do?
That's how I started. Well, I actually started after university, like, I went to university at an art college, like in rural England, in Cornwall, and I was there I did film. But while I was there, I was getting like loads of design work, graphic design, because it's what I did before when I was growing up, when I was about 15 or whatever. And I started to study animation, and I taught myself animation and made myself a show reel. And then I applied for a job in London. I got a job at a film company in London, editing. And editing is kind of like the first job that you must learn if you want to be a director or you want to do anything, you want to be in charge, because an editor knows what's usable and an editor knows what to shoot, because they're the ones left in the shit if you haven't shot enough. Like there's no truer statement than that. Like if you don't have the stuff to cut to, or you don't have enough cutaways, or you don't have enough B-roll, or you don't have this to make it look right, then you're fucked. So I won't say all, but most directors come from editorial. And then I learned that, and then I got chewed up and spat out by London, because London does that to people. and
Oh,
I went freelance. So I do whatever I could.
So with Jive doing the sounds, me and Wings have nice cameras. We can act and make a movie.
Yeah, definitely. We
In
could
a
like,
Eddie's got a nicer camera than us.
yeah,
White
I've got
boy.
a cinema
Yeah?
camera. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Eddie's got a big old fucking like a master camera.
yeah. I've got
you
well, I've
got,
got
you got,
the
you
camera.
got
I
a
have
better
now
camera
is-
than this one?
I got a Blackmagic 4K.
He's. Can you show us your camera, Eddie?
Yeah, if you give me 2 seconds, I'll go and get it.
He has to get it out the safe, put in the code.
So as Eddie the Chump walks away,
Jive
he's
can do
going
the
to get his
trailer.
camera. White Boy 7th Street and Wings of Redemption patiently waits for him to come back
The summer blockbuster.
in a world where people rule. What am I talking about?
You should be doing that voice acting shit, dude.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
That
But
guy died, you know, right? That's why they
Did
replaced
he?
with the old man. The guy, like the trailer dude. You could have his job. Just
In
like
the
just take his
world.
job over. You know, he got paid.
and they do mix their voices. Well, I know y'all know that. They mix their voices down a little more.
It's like steroids for your vocal
Right.
cords.
So
Yeah.
I'll just show you the. Oh, wrong head.
I was about to say,
Yeah,
did you
wrong-
have those
wrong-
on first
wrong
time?
headphones, yeah. So I'm just going to show you the body at the moment, but this is the camera that I've got. This is a Blackmagic 4K cinema camera, and this is just the.
I
body.
look like the Instagram.
So,
logo.
so like
the Instagram camera.
master lenses attached to that and stuff, and it films in like digital cinema quality. But this, I mean, this is just like this attachment here. This cage is what you'd attach like pro. Like matte boxes, you know, the boxes that go around lenses and the focusing rings and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, the camera itself was expensive, but this rigging, for what it is, I mean, it's just basic metalwork, essentially, and you have rods in here that go out and you mount stuff to.
Well,
This rigging was
you-
like over
Can
a
we
grand.
guess?
You're
Oh.
paying for a convenience. What you're paying
Yeah.
for. It's not that it was hard to make. It's that there's no need to make lots of them.
Yeah, and it's. I mean, filmmaking is glass ceiling territory. Like,
Who
you've-
remembers? He used to fly in the planes and shit.
Like if there was a reason to like make 15 million of those things, those would be
What's
cheap
his
as
name?
shit.
yeah,
Aviator. Who remembers Aviator?
Yep.
yeah.
That was my boy. I remember I was like, yo, link me to a good camera that I can buy. This motherfucker linked me to this camera that costs like $8,000. I said, dog.
Aviator's a bitch, dude. Like I remember using a video of Woody choking out White Boy, and Aviator happened
Hold
to
on,
be
you
filming.
said he was in the video?
No, he was filming it. He filmed the video, and I ripped it
Okay.
off his channel, and like it essentially was PKA. It's what it essentially
Oh,
was.
okay.
And when Woody and White Boy was rolling, and Woody ended up choking White Boy out, and like I used it as an example because this is when obviously Jesus and Woody were fighting. And like, you know, obviously Jesus like, fight me at PAX, bro, fight me at PAX. And I'm like, I don't think, you know, I was sitting there talking about it, and it's kind of like a monologue. You know, I don't think obviously Jesus really wants to fight this guy at PAX. And I started showing Woody like choking people out and stuff. I happened to use his footage, and he tried to get me a content strike from Machinima.
Damn.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad.
Like I had to get on I had to go to Machinima. This is Shore Wars. What's his name? Shore Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anthony.
Shore Wars. Like I had to talk to him, and we had to go sit down, and we had to talk to Aviator, bring him in a call to try to keep him from like giving my channel a strike because of this shit. And I was like,
Shore Wars.
I had to sleep in the same room as Aviator. We're all like pairing for that paintball event. We all had like pairs in the rooms. And he would just talk, and I was trying to sleep, and he was just talking about ideas and what if we worked together and did this and made this video and Call of Duty Black Ops 1, blah, blah, blah. And I was just sitting there trying to sleep.
Like, can I
like,
get some
damn,
sleep,
motherfucker,
bro?
I'm trying to catch some eyes there.
He was like, he yelled at a kid for getting, like, at this paintball event. Everybody kept on shooting him because he was sitting in the middle of the, you know, paintball field with a camera.
Filming.
And I shot him a few times just because I was like, oh my God, there's a person right there. This is like the luckiest thing ever. And after I shoot, I realize it's him. But he got shot in the camera a bunch, and he had this expensive camera, and then he gave some warnings to these kids. And I guess it was Kyle who shot the aviator, but then after he warned these kids, he got shot again, and then aviator just snapped on these two fans of I don't know who they were fans of, but he just started yelling, calling them assholes,
You
swearing.
fucking assholes.
What
Yeah.
was in this on film?
Well, he had
He
it.
had the film.
To-
Yeah,
be
he
honest-
released that.
To be honest, there's no way you could convince me to take that camera out with the full rig and film something like that. There's no
It
way.
was like a
You should
Canon.
be filming that with like fucking
iPhones.
Well, not iPhones. What are
Yeah,
the hero
with
ones?
the camera I just
GoPro.
had.
GoPro. You should be filming it with GoPros, man.
Well, he wanted to be cinematic, and he had his little rig, and
Well,
His videos look great.
Aviator was trying to suck every YouTuber's dick to try to get his foot in the door. That's what he was trying to do. You know, he's bringing out all these cameras. I mean, he promised me to get me on an AC-130, which I never seen. All I ever seen from him was him bitching about me using 5 seconds of his fucking clip. I'm like, dude,
AC-130 above.
Was he a pro?
Remember-
What did,
Wings
he,
in it.
did he do it for a living?
he sold airplane parts for a living. That's why he's called the Aviator. He's like sold like airplane parts a la carte.
All right.
And like he had a hobby. His photography was his hobby. He had a lot of good shit.
That's what. There's a part. That's why I asked. Is he a pro? No pro would go into a paintball thing with their good kit.
No, yeah,
Never
he
in a
wasn't pro
million
by-
years.
he
You
was
got
no
you
pro.
gotta actually see like his
He had-
cameras are fucking good.
He had great
man.
cameras. He did. He had good cameras.
His cameras look better than I can see right now. Like that's how fucking clear his fucking cameras were, man. And that's when YouTube was 30 frames per second.
he was very like a creepy nice. Like he was overly
He was
nice.
a creepy nice. I called him out on that shit. And like I even like when I was in that call with Shores, I'm like, dude, you can't pull copyright on this because this is less 15 seconds. There's fair use acts.
I remember me and Shaggy was on the call with Shore Wars, and I was like, "Yeah, that's what's up. We gonna do that, dog. I'm gonna send him the music, and then, all right, homie, this and that." And he was like, Shaggy was like, "Yo, you was just talking to the guy. That's the head guy from Machinima. You was just talking to him like he was your bro." I said, "That's how you supposed to be. That's how motherfuckers start to like you. You can't be scared."
Yes, yes, sir. Shore Wars.
Yeah.
But you remember Shaggy was
Man,
15.
I knew that company was going under the minute my boss man had a gamer tag as a username.
That's funny.
I'm like when you refer to your boss man by his gamer tag, you're not gonna last long.
Yeah, exactly.
I want an old creepy white dude that loves money so much that he would slap his mother for it. That's who I want in charge.
You want that as your boss, do you?
Yeah,
I'll
because
tell
I
you
know I'm
this,
getting paid. My checks are going to cash and they're going to clear.
Is he gonna get paid too?
maybe this, like to cycle back to what we were saying earlier about entitlement. There is no amount of money that could convince me to work for somebody else ever again, ever.
There is for me if I'm fucking eating out the fucking trash can.
Work ever again?
No, like
I'd rather work for McDonald's than eat out the trash. I'm gonna put it that way. I'm gonna lay that down.
yeah, I doubt that. I don't know. Maybe that's just my level of arrogance, but I doubt that I would ever. Because
I
I've got
feel
so
you.
many. Because I've got so many skills that I could earn from that. I just don't
You-
think that
en-
I'd ever be in that
entitlement, it-
position.
It's like being your own boss. Like I've been my own boss for the last 6 years. I'm at a stage in my life where I might have to go back to work for somebody else, and it's like I'm going to get fired.
Yeah, you
That
will.
motherfucker's going to be like, clean the toilet. I'm gonna be like, fuck you.
You get paid more than me. You
Clean it
fantasize.
yourself. Yeah, it's like you. I mean, you're the one that gets paid more for your time. I'm the one that has to do all the hard work. What are you doing? Looking at me do the hard work? I can do this good. I got this. You go clean that toilet.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it. I actually don't think I could do it ever.
Why
Because,
not?
like-
Like, do you think your time, like, you're just sitting there wasting like 8 hours a day? Like, I could do something more valuable.
I think it's because, well, I don't know if my atheism or anti-theism informs this, but I'm like, I've got a limited time on this earth, right? My time is limited. I know I play video games. I mean, that's a spectacular waste of time. But I have limited time, and I don't want to spend that making somebody else richer. Like, I just can't abide that. And actually, especially in the industry that I was in, there's a lot of nepotism, right? So someone's
What's
a
the word
producer.
nepotism mean?
Nepotism means like say I know you, Geordie, and we're friends, right? And I have this job that someone else might be better qualified for, but I hire you because you're my friend, or you're my son, or
Oh, we call that redneck.
right, okay. So there's a lot of that.
Redneckism.
Redneckism. There's a lot
Yeah,
of that.
it's the good old boy system. It's real redneck around here.
Yeah, like that sort of favoritism.
Wow.
Like in
Sorry, Eddie. We say the same shit. The good old boy. The good old boys. That's what we say.
No, there's
Go
a lot
ahead,
of that
Eddie,
in
my
my
bad.
industry, and quite typically you find that people, there's this phrase in the film industry called "you fail upwards," and what that means is that if you're not good at anything, right, if you don't display any flair or skill, then you get promoted where you can't do any harm, right? So all the people that are working in editorial or working on sound or are composers or are writers or anything, they're there in their job because they can do the shit, right? But the people who are like some director's son or some shit, they fail upwards because they can't actually do anything because they're stupid, all right? And I think if I was to work for somebody else, I've worked in that industry. I've seen that in action. I've had people who I had to listen to who I know are stupid, right? And I have to take their shit. And I don't think I could do that anymore. I
I
genuinely
remember
don't.
that.
I understand that.
We had a safety guy where I worked at that was teaching forklift classes that didn't have a forklift license. So he'd have to call somebody in on shift, like to come teach the class while he supervised. Like I had to teach a forklift class while this guy watched me teach the forklift class to make sure it was done safely.
Fucking dumb.
Like you're the safety dude. You
Why
can't
couldn't
drive a
you
forklift.
just be? Why?
Because he was like this white collar kind of guy that's never fucking swung a hammer in his life,
Fucking stupid.
That's
trying
what
to
I
teach
mean.
people.
Failed upwards. He's failed upwards.
Yeah.
Hey, I got. Sorry. If we're about to change the subject, I'm about to change the subject. So keep going.
No, I'm done.
I'm just saying, it's like I can't stand people like that. That's the person that will get me fired. When I see another motherfucker
Wings
that's
mad as
in that
shit.
job from just fucking just being homeboys with, playing basketball or something. I'm like, motherfucker, you trying to tell me how to do my job? You can't even do my job.
Just a good old boy.
It's the good old boy system.
I'm
I didn't know there was vertical nepotism for it. Like I'm about to use it.
Yeah.
I know you two guys probably all of you dudes probably been used. Like my face is being used
Mine's
On
on Pornhub
Facebook.
video. On
on
Pornhub.
Facebook. Like somebody else, it's a total different name, this and that, and it was my face.
Wait, you're part of a catfishing scandal?
I don't know what's going on, but look, Facebook.
It gets the bitches wet, right, Jive?
I don't know. I might be a good-looking guy, but I don't look that good to use me. And this guy, he's from New Jersey, but he on Facebook you can use like if say me and Wings or friends and I block you, you can't see me anymore. And you could like put like something. I think you could put like an option, only people that knows your email address can find you or something like that. So this girl was like, yo, this guy sent me a friend request. I thought it was you. And then I got the friend request. And then, I noticed it wasn't you. Then she linked me. And then I saw it. I'm like, oh, shit. It's like one of my pictures. I look all good and shit in it. And then I messaged him like, yo, dog, damn, I don't look that good to be, using me. And then he didn't message me back. And then when I went back a little later, like 5 minutes later to the page, it was just gone. So I'm thinking he blocked me. And then I asked her to go back to it. And then it's gone. Like, it's no way. I can't even remember. I should have fucking guyzoed it, man.
You got
What would y'all
catfished.
do?
You got catfished. Be
What would
flattered.
y'all do in
Be
this
flattered, dog.
situation?
Just be flattered. You know what my face being used for?
What?
You ever see those ads like when you're on Pornhub and stuff, and it's like this person's fucking bitches nightly. They got
No.
one of them with me on it.
I think I saw that.
Yeah.
No.
I'm going to Pornhub
Yeah.
now.
I think I saw that. Not recently, but I saw that a while ago. I
Yeah,
think.
somebody
That's
used one of my
amazing.
pictures from PK and put that next to this fat motherfucker. He's fucking bitches nightly. Find out how.
Yo,
That's amazing.
That's crazy.
I want to go to Pornhub to find it, but I also don't want to disable ad block on Pornhub.
Yeah. But what do you actually do when the girl that you finally talking to or whatever, she sent you a couple pics or whatever, maybe that's the thrill he wants. But what happens when you have to meet that person? Yo, meet me at the mall tomorrow. What do you do?
Sexy dress, baby. I wear that suit because you like me in my pictures.
Yeah, you wear the suit, blah, blah, blah. But what's your excuse when you don't show up?
You don't. If you catfish, you don't. You just, your idea, you like the idea of the chase. You don't like the idea of the capture.
Yeah, because there's nowhere to go. You're not that person. There's nowhere to go from there.
That's weird. That would be so
Make
awkward.
plans, you just don't show up.
I bet you people would show up, but they're just like a regular dude.
They'll
They
just
expect
show
them
up
to be a
and-
girl.
They'll be like
Look.
sitting at like the table, like eating pizza and shit, just to see if you show up.
See, this is why I couldn't, and I never have used like internet dating sites and shit like that. I couldn't do that. I couldn't.
Listen, what if you, the girl sitting there, and then you walk up, I'm the fake me, and then I walk up and be like, "Oh, Chelsea, your name Chelsea? Yeah, I met you a while ago. How you doing?"
That's a
And
good-
then,
That's probably what they
That's
do. They probably like, I know you from here or something.
wow, but they probably ugly as shit though.
Yeah,
It
you've
doesn't
got.
got to be that way. I mean, like you ever watch the show Catfish? Some of them are actually good looking. They just like the sense of power.
I
It gets-
never
And they use
saw
you as
that.
a third or fourth lifestyle because they got like 4 of them going at the same time.
That's fucking weird, man.
Like different lifestyle, because I tweeted it. I said, "Yo, somebody using my picture on Facebook and whatever. They probably got an Instagram and whatever." And then everybody was like, "Catfish, catfish, catfish, catfish." I'm like, "Oh shit." That's what happened to the football player.
I feel like that's the perfect kind of trolling. That's exactly what trolling is.
That's
Right
that's
now.
fucked up, dude. That's playing with shit that will get people to kill themselves over.
That's horrible though. Like I'm like,
Like
and
this
this
girl might be
guy,
like dead on in love with Jive Turkey, and she's talking to this dude, and there's that Jive Turkey don't exist.
and
Yeah,
his
it's
name
pla-
was
it's
like
fucking with
Robert.
people.
His name wasn't nowhere near my name. He was making posts and he was talking about like a regular Facebook profile.
You got
Like,
like
oh,
pictures
look
of your
at
shit
this
like your
video.
shirt off and shit at the gym.
Yeah, like he got. I didn't look through all of them, but I messaged like, "Yo, like, damn, I don't look that good." And he's like, he got me right the fuck out of there.
It must be a skill to hold up all those personalities and all those stories. And I
It's a,
bet you,
it's a power trip. You're manipulating, controlling people's lives.
The crazy thing is, he might like be following me, like as a girl or
I'd
as
be on your friends
somebody
list,
else.
dog. You
Yeah,
might
like,
be one of your Facebook friends.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He might be one of my Facebook friends, and
where were the pictures from? Like your Twitter profile, or like
see, they were a mixture of my Instagram and my Facebook pictures.
okay.
So he might be following me on both, or she, or whoever. But Instagram, it's an option to, y'all know this, it's an option to go Instagram and it uploads directly to Facebook,
Mhm.
like soon as you upload. So I don't know what he's following me on.
Just
What
be
if it's a
flattered, dude. Just
fan?
be flattered. It's a guy that thinks you're attractive enough to use you as a substitute. That's all you can do is be flattered.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
like
guess.
we're in a field where our pictures are going to get out there. Like there's a million pictures of me out there. There's 3,000 videos I made myself of me in it.
Yeah, I think
Fat
once you
boy.
step into the public eye, like making videos, I think it's
What was your video? What was your video called? Fat Boy breaks his TV with the
Stabs
No.
TV.
Bayonets. It's a Fat Man
Yeah.
Bayonets TV.
Bayonets TV. Yeah.
And they tried to pay me for that video. Like, God, what was it called? Judge TV or Court TV, True TV? Whatever it is. They wanted to give me $500 per episode it was run on. And I told them no.
Why not?
Because they were going to be one who's like, this top 10 stupidest people and shit like that. That's where that was going to end up on.
So
That
I
could
swear-
ruin you.
I swear the first time I ever saw Boogie was where he was playing that character where he flips the table, the magic
Yeah.
cards. That's the
Yeah.
first time I had ever heard. I thought that was real. Like I
I
thought,
did too. I mean, first time I seen him when Diablo 3 was like having a fucking meltdown when it first launched, and he's like in the Boogie character complaining about it.
yeah. I thought, oh my
And then I
God.
seen his Mountain Dew video. Like, who drank all the Mountain Dew?
Boogie, 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 boogie.
Boogie is a
boogie,
great-
boogie, boogie.
Like,
I saw his video about you.
which one? He's done a couple. of them.
One of them when he was like, "You might know Wings. He's in trouble. This and that."
No.
It was like a nice heart
Boogie.
touching
Boogie
video.
really likes me for some reason.
It does.
Like,
Maybe because y'all both heavy set.
well, he probably relates to me because we kind of go in the same thing. We're big guys, been big guys all our lives, both suffer depression, and he sees me. I think Boogie sees me as a extension of his life because I'm still in a position where I can change, which I don't know if I
Waitsis.
can change.
He's weightsis, not racist, but weightsis.
No, he just sees me as a person that can change where he is probably beyond change. Like Boogie's at the point in his life where his medical health is at
Yeah,
a point
I know what
that
you
he
mean.
can't lose weight. Like losing weight's not an option for him anymore. Even if he does lose weight, he's already done so much damage to his body, it's irreparable. And I'm still at the point where I'm healthy. I'm literally a healthy man. I just eat too fucking much and I don't do enough.
Is Boogie older than you?
Boogie is way older than me. Boogie's
Yeah,
almost
Boogie,
40.
you could, yeah.
Right.
He's almost 40.
Do you think dealing with like internet comments strengthens your bond at all? Like you guys both deal with that? As
The
a big
fat
guy?
comments have gone actually for me. I don't see fat comments anymore. Like all the guys that used to go point out, be like, "Wings, you're fat." Now I just can people are disappointed, and like you understand they're disappointed. Like I've invested all this time, and some people have invested money into me losing weight, and I sit there continually fail over and over and over again, and like you don't even want to talk about it. You just want to ignore it.
Because it's
I-
annoying when they just keep on touching on something that's like that you already addressed or something you don't want to be brought up.
Well, I hate that in Twitch streams when you answer a question early, and then somebody will come in like 2 hours later and ask the same question,
Same question.
and then get upset that you don't answer him.
Terrible. I'm not
Yeah.
Chris Smooth anymore.
Yeah, but I don't get the
Shit.
fat comments anymore. Nobody comes on my videos like, "Oh, Jordy, you're fat." Even the new guy. Well, maybe because nobody's finding my channel anymore. I think I lose subs every day of the week now. But you know, it is what it is. I mean, like, I've tried for the last 2 years to lose weight, and I just can't get a grip on my eating. I can't do it. Like, am I going to give up? No. Am I going to try to lose
But
weight again? Yes.
If you keep working out, it's gonna,
You
balance.
you can never work out better than you can eat. You can never work out enough to offset eating unless you're like
definitely.
Yeah, it's all
unless you're like
It's about
Olympic
calorie-
swimmer.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
about calorie deficit. I mean, like,
Yeah,
I remember
you
seeing an
can't
episode of
unwork out.
PKA where you were saying that you have to eat a certain amount of calories to stay at the weight that you're at.
Mhm.
And, it must be like 3,000, 5,000 calories or something like that.
4,800.
Yeah.
Like right now, like I had to eat 4,800 calories to gain weight. And like, so, cause I can eat an enormous amount of food right now and it won't make me gain weight. Cause here's the thing with me. I'm pretty much at my peak. And I know this is dangerous to say, but I've been around this weight for so long and I've ate so shitty. I just don't get heavier than this. Cause I can't eat enough calories to
Yeah.
get heavier.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd have to literally like go out of my way and like start ordering like, well, I need 3 pizzas today at lunch, and shit like that to get like 500 and 600 pounds. Cause I'm like 428 right now or something like that. To get 500 and 600 pounds, you got to eat like whole turkeys. You got to wash it down with like a 2 liter of soda. You got to, you got to eat candy when you're on your off days and got to drink milkshakes. You got to try hard to get 600 pounds. And I think Boogie's almost 7. I think Boogie's like 680 or something like that.
You got to think I'm sure you already know this, but people don't know this that you're building muscle. So
Well, I quit working out January 28th.
you
so-
quit.
I quit. I gave up.
I thought you said you weren't gonna give up.
I gave up for right now. Am I going to do it again? Yes.
Oh, you gave up for now.
Yeah.
When do you
Well,
plan
like-
on going back?
I don't know when I hit a low point. Like that's what happens. Like you give up. You give up and you binge. And the last month or so has been a binge.
I think yeah. I think
I
I
I
got
understand taking time off, but I
It's
think
not.
you
It's not
should
time off. It's
definitely
it's like
go
my
back.
resolve was over. I had no more resolve. I'm like, fuck it. I'm done. I'm just gonna eat what I want to eat and just live my life. And then eventually you get to the point where it's like, fuck, I hate this shit. I'm gonna have to try
Then
again.
you're not gonna get nowhere, Wings.
You're not
Don't
gonna
you?
get nowhere. But the
You
fact
lose all that
is, it's like
momentum,
a
don't you?
Yeah, you lost that momentum. You
I,
got to go back,
I have
guys.
a tremendous amount of empathy. It's not sympathy or pity. It's empathy because I've been fairly public about struggles with substance abuse and depression in my
Uh-huh.
past, and I think when people look at someone who struggles with a problem that is constant and that needs daily work, I think that a lot of people who have like natural advantages, like they don't put weight on, or they have a faster metabolism, or they were brought up in an environment where healthy food and eating and exercise was a regular thing. I think it's very easy to judge people that are not in the same place as you. Um, I think it's just, especially being in the public eye. Like I wouldn't be able to deal with that, man. I wouldn't be able to deal with comments like that. Like you know, a lot of my content is comedic, right? And I take the piss out of myself a lot in it because if I make the joke first, it's not funny when you say it, right? And that's a defense against the people that are negative in my comments. I mean, admittedly, it's not that many people, but still, like, that's
I
that's why
know
I do it.
exactly what you mean now. But
But
Wings, we were all proud of you, Wings.
Yeah.
Like
you,
me, I Wings. I was your
you
number
can say,
one
I know what you're
fan
gonna say.
growing up.
I know what you're gonna say.
No,
And
I'm
like
just
that
telling
makes
you.
it hurt that much worse when you realize at the end of the day, you're fucking failing. You're letting people down. People, all these people that invest in you you're fucking worthless, and you're sitting there crying while you're eating fucking pizza. It's like it really fucks you up. It does,
Well, don't ever do that.
and like you can't do it. Like it's like drugs, dude.
Don't ever
Like,
don't ever do that on my account because my support for you is non-conditional.
Yeah,
I will be.
unconditional. Definitely.
I think that's a.
if,
I think the
you
pressure
think
you
you
put
think
on
I want to
yourself-
be a 430-pound man?
No, I don't think anyone makes that assumption.
It's not something I can control. Like it's really not. It's like
You were
eating
doing
takes
so
over my whole
fucking
life.
good, dog.
Like every time I feel sad, like right now, I want food. Like I want food so bad I can feel myself shaking, and like it hurts me to my core. Like if I couldn't get food, I would steal it.
Yeah.
And then I'll have people tell me eating is not an addiction, dude. Eating is a total
It
addiction.
definitely is.
It's
No,
it is one of the worst addictions you can have. It's an addiction that you can't get rid of. If you smoke crack, you could just stop smoking crack. Your body doesn't need crack to live. You know, it's I have to eat, and like one of the things I've been trying to do is like when I go out to eat, because I have to go out to eat a lot. Like right now, there's no food in the
Yeah.
house, so if I wanted to eat tonight, I'm gonna have to go get
Gotta
something
go.
to eat. I either go to Walmart and like buy something healthy, or I can just get something that's quick and easy and it makes me happy. And like I fight that myself all the time. Like, do I want the food that makes me happy, or I want the food that gets me by? And like that's the war I keep losing because one, I don't like cooking.
It sucks.
I was
It-
gonna
it
ask. That was the
Way
point
too
I was
much
gonna
time.
make. I was like, I know that food to you is not just a comfort; it's something much more vital to you.
It gives me a high. It gives me a high.
I was
it
gonna.
does.
The question I was gonna ask is like, would learning about food help you? Because
I know about food.
but I mean like how to properly prepare food. To learn how to cook properly and to make great food. Because there's a difference, right? There's a difference between buying ingredients, which has attachments of, it costs money and it's difficult and you have to learn all that stuff. And,
Here's
and
the-
that's
here's
not
the
that's
great-
not as immediately satisfying as 18-inch pepperoni pizza, right? That's just not. But if you learn, like for me, like if it was just me, I'm not saying it's going to work for you at all. But for me, my interest would be in learning how to make dough, learning how to make the sauce, learning what pepperoni sausage is, what kind of sausage it is, learning what kind of cheese
Here's
they
the
use.
thing, Eddie, and this is something you don't have. I wouldn't want to stand up there because it hurt my back.
Stand up well,
Like-
like cooking.
Like literally walking and standing up hurts for a guy my size.
Yeah.
Like the more I don't have to do it, the least I want to do it. But here's the beautiful thing, and it's another thing that fucks me up all the time is Drew is a nutritionist. He knows how to cook. He cooks fucking great.
Yeah.
He's willing to come cook me food. If I called right now and go, Drew, I need help. Will you come cook me something? He will drive to my house and come cook me something. He's like a true blue fucking friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I still fail him. Like that hurts me even more. It's like
I think
all that man wants to do is see me succeed, and I can't do it.
Right. Okay. So I think.
And you know what I think I need? Honestly, I need a heart attack.
No,
I need a system shock.
I think what you need to do, actually, more than anything else, is to realize that the pressure you put on yourself when you say things like you're failing other people, is that that's
I'm failing at YouTube too. It's like everything in my life is a big failure right now, and it's just, it fucks with me.
Okay, but that self-criticism is actually more destructive than any fucking food that you'll ever eat.
Yeah.
But it's the truth. Like, like the numbers don't lie.
There's a certain way to look at things.
Us three, see, from the outside looking in, like you are your hardest critic. Definitely. You're all, even with me, with music, I used to be like, do I sound right? Everybody like, yeah, you sound right. But you don't know if they're genuinely telling the truth or they're just saying it. You know, like us three right here are urging you on. But you don't know if we're just saying it just to say it, but we're genuine. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Self-criticism is like the worst, man.
Yeah. You need to
Seriously.
know, like, we haven't been friends that long, but you need to know that when you say you let people down, like, there's nothing you could do apart from directly fucking me over, right? There's nothing you could do apart from, like, something an enemy that would do that would ever disappoint me. And I think you need to frame the criticism differently in your head. And instead of looking at it as, I'm going to let all these people who care about me down, you need to know that the people that care about you don't feel those things that you think they do. All they want is for you to succeed. And the negative connotations of you're letting them down, I guarantee you, they don't feel like you feel. That pressure is coming from you and not from them. And you need to realize that there are people that, irrespective...
Have you read my comment sections?
Yeah, but they're not your friends. They're not your fucking friends. They're
those are the people I live my life for right now. Like, that's my whole day. And it's like...
It's nice.
My whole day is...
Yeah.
I read your comment sections to your workout videos, and it's a lot of nice stuff.
Yeah, but like, maybe I say I made a video. Well, watch the comment section on this video. The people that make it to this point, the true blue followers, and watch how many people will be disappointed.
Well, if
they will write that comment. They will write that comment before I get to this point. They'll write the comment from that comment I made 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I mean, we all do this, right? We all do YouTube, and I think that there's a big mistake that we all make, and I'm not singling you out here, Wings, at all. I'm not singling you out. I do it. Is that we think it's real, right? And this is where, like, things like internet bullying and all these kind of subjects, they meet in this area. It's not. People are more prepared to say awful things with no accountability than they are if they were in front of you. And you need to realize that a lot of how people represent themselves, not just on the internet is this, like, amplified, but in real life, people regularly deceive other people about themselves, right? People act as if they're tougher than they are. People act as if they're richer than they are. People act as if they're better educated than they are, right? And that's in real life, person to person, right? Imagine what exaggerations are made when there's no consequence to what they say or what they comment. It's infinitely worse.
Let me give you an example of what he's talking about. If I say good job, Wings, that probably would get overlooked. If I say Wings, you're a fucking that just a piece of shit. That will get, you know, like, some attention to me. I want attention. Yeah. You know, like that's what they're doing
fiction.
it for.
Isn't that the worst? Like, I'll get some hate tweet to me, and then I respond to it, like, correcting them, and then they're like, "Oh my god, I'm such a big fan."
Yeah.
They do that all the time.
I wanted to see a reply. I reply. Me personally, I like replying. I like replying. I'm all
I'm
in.
jaded. I don't even read the
our,
comment section anymore. Like I upload the
in,
video and just never look at it
in
again.
the vlogs and in our podcast. I'm all in there.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And people like, yo, Jive is in here. Like, you know what I mean? I like doing that. But they'll say something mean, like white boy is a piece of shit or whatever. And then when white boy says, damn, you really feel that way or whatever he says, they'll say, oh, God, I just wanted to see if you would reply. Like, they want attention.
This is
Yeah,
the
like-
problem with the digital age. This is, I mean, our societies deal with this on a regular basis. The fact that this mostly is fiction, right? Mostly what people write in comment sections isn't real.
Isn't real.
And
It's not real. It's not real. When people say that, like you fat piece, like if they're a kid, I can understand them being mean spirited because kids sometimes are, but a lot of it is just complete fiction, and
it's
you
ambiguity.
have to look at it like that. Like these people are saying these things for different reasons other than you receiving the message, right? If they really wanted to hurt you, like if someone wants to hurt somebody else, there's a fuck sight more effective ways than posting a comment on a video. That's not what I would do if I wanted to hurt someone. They're doing it for attention. It's not real. It's a work of fiction, like most things. And back to what I was saying, you need to frame your image of other people's disappointment differently. You need to listen to what they actually say as opposed to what you think they're thinking. Because you can't ever know that. You're never in somebody else's head. You can't ever prove that what you think someone thinks is what they think.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
The
and if sorry, Alex, go ahead.
The comments that hurt me are the comments that there's actually a little bit of truth to them.
Yeah.
And that truth can
Yeah, those
come
suck.
from like you. I put that negative like condensation in my head. I don't know if that's the right word, to be honest, but like
I do that all the
I
time.
put something negative in my head, and then someone like
Parrots it to
exposes
you.
that, or they peck at it, and they find this little detail or the
It's not
little
even
thing.
peck at it. They hit it the same nerve that you think in yourself, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh shit, there's
Yeah.
somebody else that sees it too. It
Yeah.
must be true now.
But there's other like you were saying, there's a lot of comments that just go right over my head. Like people like make fun of my dead mom a lot, not a lot, but sometimes, and that doesn't bother me at all. But I had a dream the other day that I had a dream about my mom, and then I started tearing up when I woke up, and it's because I don't know, it felt real, I guess.
Yeah.
But there's like they can say whatever, and it doesn't affect me unless it's something that I'm doubting in myself.
Yeah.
My thing is like I'm a sinking ship, and I much rather take just myself down that road. Because like at the end of the day, after we shut the podcast off, after you upload the video and all you see all the support, you're still by yourself. End of the day, it's my choice. I'm gonna be when we shut this off. I'm gonna be in this room by myself, and my choice dictates my actions, how my life happens at that point.
Yeah.
And that's when I do the most damage to myself.
One of the things that I think about a lot is we always think that we're 100% in control. All right, our culture tells us that we, the individual, me, is really important, right? Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all these things. Me. I'm so fucking important. Look at my life, all right? We're constantly just thinking that whatever happens to us is our singular responsibility. Like that. I mean, it's especially prevalent in American culture. The American dream: pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Well, actually, the truth is that you're never in complete control. You can't control what other people will say to you. You can't control how other people will feel about you, especially if you're in the public eye. Especially, like, I do fucking comedy. Do you know how many fucking things there are on my channel that are like, this isn't funny? Right? And I'm not in control of whether...
I didn't subscribe to your channel for comedy. I
I know
like
you-
your
I know you-
philosophical stuff.
I know you didn't, but a lot of people do. And I can't control what they think about what I do. And I have to let go of it because I can't control that. You can't control how other people will feel about you. So you have to let it go.
And Wings, when you're feeling alone or whatever,
But that's hard. Hold up.
hit
Sam.
one of us up. Hit
But that-
me up.
But
Hit
here's,
me up.
give me a second,
Anytime,
John.
anytime you feel alone, Job, what you doing?
but here's the thing. Our job is to be interactive. Well, I know Eddie and Job. Your job isn't YouTube, but like our job is
I know,
to be
we know what you
engaging.
mean.
Yeah.
in be engaging fans. You can't overlook them
No,
like that.
you can't overlook them.
You
But
got to.
is someone who is trying to hurt you a fan?
Well, I'm just saying, like
No.
Exactly.
you got to make mental note. Like I can't go out and make a video tomorrow and be like, hey, I've gained like 20 pounds. You know, I've given up working out for the last 4 weeks. I feel like a sack of shit. It'd be like, well, I'm tired of you, Wings. I'm tired of dealing with this. I'm tired for the emotional roller coaster. You know, and then I'll lose 2,000 more subscribers that day, and then at the end of the day, I will get more depressed because I'm in a worse spot when I gained it the day before. It's like
But okay,
what do you do? What you do is you fucking eat right, you lose fucking weight. Well, that is the ideal way. That's how it happens. But guess what, dude? Like 5% of every person that ever attempts to lose weight actually does.
yeah, I'm
Five
not.
percent.
Yeah.
There's no part of me that would ever criticize you like these people are criticizing you because I've struggled with my own demons. I understand what it's like to work against yourself, right? I get the struggle. Our struggles aren't the same, but I understand that process. So I wouldn't be that kind of person. However, the point is that you're talking about putting you 100% honest you open on the internet for as entertainment, and there is a difference. There is a difference between you are not a performing monkey. You are Geordie, right? And you think that people will only find you entertaining for exactly who you are. That's not absolutely true. You're an entertainer, and the separation between the person and Wings of Redemption sounds like it's completely disappeared. You're putting you as at your
Yeah.
most open and vulnerable to the exposure to the most brutal of criticism like arenas, the internet. And there's a huge risk of you getting hurt by other people because for you it's real, right? For you, you're putting you 100% who you are out there, right? So you're going to take all these slings and arrows as if they're being completely real with you, and that's an incorrect assumption. The assumption is that they're being as real. They're not. It's fucking fiction. The people who are
It's a
real,
game to them. I
it's
understand that.
nothing.
It's a game. I see the same shit White Boy says. They'll talk shit and then you respond to them, and then they're all happy and shit. I'm like, dude, you're fucking with my life, dude. You know what you're actually
Yeah.
doing here?
Yeah, but
You know,
with that knowledge, surely at some point must come the power to dismiss what they say. If you know,
it comes, but it does come. Like the fat comments don't bother me no more. You could call me fat until you fucking die of like losing oxygen. It will never affect me. It won't make me cry. It won't be doing that. I realize I'm fucking fat. I look every day in the mirror fat. When I get in the bathtub, you don't think I realize I'm fat? You don't think I look and be like, oh shit, I think I got a little
The
bit.
person
fatter.
making that comment is probably fat.
yeah,
I don't give a shit what that person makes the comment is. He's irrelevant to me at that point because
Yeah,
like
but
he,
you say
but like it's the ones that are
you
truthful.
care about what they're saying.
It's the truthful ones that hurt. It's
They're
the ones
probably
that
the
like
same
if,
way.
if somebody goes and like
Yeah,
I'm
but
giving
they're
them
hitting that
ammo
by
at this, I'm
accident.
giving them ammo at this point. If I go, well, Wings, you're gonna die of a heart attack and you're a failure of life, you know, that one would hurt worse than fat.
yeah, but
Because these are things I think about. I was like, fuck, where's that heart attack coming? Like, you know, what am I gonna do after YouTube? Like, what happens when I run out of money? Like, I mean, like, because at this point in my life, I don't physically think I could do a physical job. I think my leg is fucked up way too bad. My back's fucked up way too bad. And like, the after all the things you see me quit, and I haven't quit YouTube, you think you would almost realize that I can't quit YouTube. YouTube is literally the only source of income I could get that's reasonable right now. If I could quit YouTube, I would fucking do it in a heartbeat. If there was a job out there that was a reasonable distance from my house that paid just as much as YouTube, fuck YouTube. I would praise the moment I could get away from those comments and have to quit living my life based on what other people think of me.
right, okay. Now my point is that that part of you that's like I have to live by what other people say. That's an illusion, because you don't.
But you get reminders though. They like you read the comments because you want to read the comments because there's nice people in there.
That's what hooked me
You-
on YouTube. The comments. It's like reading them. You know what? It's,
Yeah, yeah,
Like-
maybe.
That's why I still do YouTube.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. There has to come a point where you realize that a lot of what people say. I mean, this is true in real life. A lot of what people say is bullshit, right? A lot of what people say, like you meet someone for the first time, they're gonna like in real life, they're gonna try and act more impressive than they are when they're at home eating fucking Cheetos in their jogging shorts, right? They're gonna try and be the best version of themselves, and that's a level of deception, and that's present in all areas of life. You've got to understand that the internet is the most deceptive form of human interaction that has ever been invented. And
You know what I don't like about it? It's like a rap battle versus me versus some random person. They have all the ammo against me, and I have no idea
Yeah.
who Skater Dude 45 is, and he's just unleashing at me. And I don't know who this dude is. I can make some comment about his name. I like talking shit back, though.
yeah, I
It's
like
fun.
talking shit.
It's
I do.
fun going back at the haters.
I like talking shit because, and this is the point. This is where the self-esteem comes from. This is where for me anyway. I'm at a much smaller scale. I don't know what I would do if I was
I'm
faced
the
with,
best at that shit.
with like hate at the same scale. But for me, the defense is, I go all fucking like impact on them. I'm like, you're the one sitting there watching, motherfucker. Don't come at me. Like you're just sitting there watching. You have
I've
an
done that
opinion
many
about what
times
I
on
say,
Twitter.
eh?
On Twitter, I do that all the time. When I had Twitter, I did it all the time. Like, remember who's following who? You follow me on Twitter. I
Yeah.
don't follow you.
It's the ultimate. And that makes people so mad because they know
Yeah.
you're right. Because they're there. They're saying what they're saying because they want some part of your reflected glory, right? And they want either to be seen as, for me, on the kind of videos I make when I'm like philosophical, or whatever, people want to be seen as smarter than me, right? It happens all the time, and I'm just like, remember who's making the fucking video. Like, remember, like, I don't have to do this. I come out here and try and be funny and entertaining and sometimes make you think about something. You're just sitting there in the comment section, dude. You're probably in your underwear.
Would you ever disable comment swings? I was considering it for a bit.
When PewDiePie did it, I considered doing it, but then I'm like, that would just hurt my channel more.
Do you
Like
do you
interactions.
think that?
I never disable comments.
I think that would hurt my channel more because if there was, I don't think my videos are good enough to warrant just watching them at face value. I think interaction is a part of them.
I watch
Yeah.
your videos and I never comment, but I suppose we have conversations outside, so.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't really do that many videos anymore either. Like, when's the last time I did a video that wasn't like a gameplay commentary? Like,
When
I'm
it-
talking about like Fallout or like something like that.
You
No,
Last video-
you gotta do it. You gotta do more of them vlogs too.
No, he gave
Like-
me an idea. I don't want to spoil it, but it was a really funny idea, and I think you should follow up on it.
I've just been unmotivated, dude. Like,
Yeah.
like literally, like I was asleep right before this. It's like, fuck. Like if it was like, if like this was my video and it hurt nobody else, I would have skipped this tonight. Just because like I would just slept through it. But like since it affected other people, I'm like, fuck it, I gotta go do this.
Well,
Yeah,
collaborate
I was
then.
cussing you out in the chat. Where the
Yeah.
fuck is Wings of Redemption
Collaborate,
at?
dude. I'll play Battlefield with you. We'll make Battlefield videos.
Yeah, but let's not get into this. This is what I got kicked off PK for. I don't like bringing this to the podcast. My life is shit. Hi, welcome to Wings of Redemption.
But
My life is shit. I'm Jordy. Nice to meet you.
I mean, like, there's nobody that would take my life and think like, man, this is great. I mean, people look at me outside.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, that's
whoa,
up for
whoa.
debate.
Probably not
Maybe,
anybody.
maybe like
in
Mexican
here.
children, like in the cane fields or something like that.
But
But I'm talking
know
about
for
a
fact
middle
that
class.
A lot of people would definitely take your life.
A lot of people want to
away.
switch in place with a 400-pound man that can barely walk,
Whew,
that has a job that makes about minimum wage,
whew.
that relies on other people's donations to
Dude,
get
you'd
by.
be amazed how much the power
Yeah,
of just being
I'm
known.
sure half of the world.
Yeah, a lot of
Wings,
people.
I noticed you,
Your life.
you pull out a lot of negatives. What are some positives?
I got no positives, dude. I got zero. I mean, like,
Yeah,
there's
all
nothing
right.
in my life that's positive. I guess I have a YouTube channel and I have a lot of people that care about me. That's about the
a
only
big
positive.
That's a big positive.
That's
big
probably the most. I know people that only probably. I'm probably the only people that speak to them. I'm probably the only person that speak to this one dude that be up Woodland Ave, sitting there all fucking day, homeless. I walk by, yo, what's up? How you doing, man? Yeah, we'll talk. You want something to eat? I'll buy you something to eat. Buy him something to eat. I'm probably the only guy that interacts with this dude. That's regular. That's functional.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm not
I
talking about the very.
guarantee.
I'm not
Dude,
talking about the very skims of society here.
Dude, there are people on YouTube,
Yeah, but
right, that have like 80 subs that have made daily YouTube videos for like 2 years.
I'm subscribed to him.
Yeah.
I know a dude that makes 3 videos a day in 60 FPS that gets 100 views a video.
I mean,
And like I
Like-
comment on his stuff. I like his stuff. I try to help him. I mean, but like he just doesn't grow. I mean, I don't understand why.
me. That's probably me.
yeah, thanks.
That's you, Jack.
I'll thank you for the support after the podcast.
No, this literally. I'm not exaggerating his views. He literally gets 100 views a video, and I'm one of them.
Yeah,
But you help him.
yeah.
Well, I try to help him, but
You
see,
help.
social networking is so diluted at this point. When I like a video and it goes on Twitter, people just skip over it.
Like no one cares when I see that I liked a video and I do it all
Right?
the time.
Nobody cares. I mean, it's so diluted. It doesn't need all the share features don't work anymore. So it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm doing what I can, other than like, hey, everybody, look at this channel. You might like it, but like my voice is so small now, nobody gives a fuck because it's been so many channels I've shouted out over the years.
It's also the only way to grow now is to get a
Yeah.
viral.
We gotta talk about that next podcast.
Yeah, you got to go viral.
Because
Speaking of going viral, we are on iTunes now.
Oh yeah.
Finally, or it's got to take a few days to accept. It should be up by Saturday. It took me like I had to email Apple support, but they approved it, and I'm happy about that.
I give you your props off the air.
Yes.
Thanks for the hard work, Alex.
Yeah, Alex is doing the phone grind for us here at the
Alex,
podcast.
hard work,
Huge plays from Alex. there.
So what do you guys think about this? If people leave us a rating on iTunes, should we read a few ratings every week
Yeah,
on the
Yes.
past show? Okay, I think that's a good idea.
I wanted to read some comments sometime, but when we get in our groove,
What does
you know,
the
this is
podcast show mean to
episode-
you? Like, what does it mean to you? Do you listen to us at work? Do you listen to us driving to work? Has it changed your life? Because I know a bunch of people. I used to be on a podcast called Painkiller Ready, and a lot of people on that show would come to me like, Painkiller Ready saved my life. It's like, seriously? Like, how do you respond to that? Like,
I don't know how you
Yeah.
respond to that.
it's like
There's a positive there.
Me-
there's a positive. I can honestly say there is about 17 people in this world that have lost weight because of me.
like me, like this podcast or whatever, like I actually literally have fun. I'm not doing it because we probably could get paid or whatever, like some people would do it for the wrong reasons, but I'm genuinely here having fun. Like, I'm sure, I don't know how long we've been recording. I'm sure we're way past.
Yeah.
our 2
It's
hours.
funny because in the chat it says how much time, like how much longer is the podcast? And an hour ago, Wing said 10 minutes. So we've been doing this for another extra
Well,
hour.
well, the last hour everybody's gonna be bitching at me, so it's like, oh yeah.
No, they're
But in the chat, in the comments, they always say, make that 4 hours, put another hour on it. But
Well,
2 hours.
2 hours is the length. If it goes further, it goes further.
Yeah.
That's the way it
If
is.
2 hours would make you want to come back. You know what I mean? I'm sure the other podcasts that go 4 hours and stuff like that, it gets dry. And it's those awkward moments. Like, we don't want to have those.
Yeah. I think we should wrap it up.
I think.
Tell us
so
what the
too.
podcast show means to you on iTunes, fellas.
All right. Thank you guys for watching.
And
We'll see you next week.
I'll see y'all in the comment section.